Estamos estampillas totales. Close enough.
You are now tuned in to your number one radio station.
Violent people.
Radio.
All right, folks, welcome to the FKAFKAABTS's. I am one of your hosts, Sam, and we are back to do the Violent People Award show. And I am here to welcome the esteemed panel of judges here. Quentin, how we doing?
Marty Supreme was almost 3 hours, and I don't know why I was so excited to watch it, but I'm okay. We're here now to talk about wrestling for some reason.
What could be better? What could be better? And Chris, how are we doing?
I'm probably at my peak physical performance right now at this moment.
That's all we can ask. That's all we can ask. Pat, how's it going?
I'm on record as a Marty Supreme hater, so I feel seen by Quentin right now.
And last but not least, Dan. How we doing?
Pretty good. Watching Man on Fire as we do this, so it should be good.
I think you'll probably be able to finish.
You turn the volume up so we can like listen along to it.
That's a good viewing experience.
What is the best Denzel movie?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
I mean,
My head says Malcolm X. My heart says Ricochet.
I do like Ricochet a lot.
Ricochet is so sick. Denzel going Joker mode.
I do like that one. That's a good pick, actually.
I think for me, it's probably Training Day, just because of like it came out when I was 16, so it was the perfect age to see Training Day.
Also, an insane performance, still. But yeah, that's like perfect Training Day age.
Was he an Inside Man?
Yep.
yeah, that movie rules too.
What a movie. What a movie. I don't know the best Denzel. The two I have watched for most are Inside Man and Remember the Titans, of course.
Do you mind-
Also up there?
I like the Equalizer movies. I'm not even
Those-
kidding.
No, those
Good flick.
rule.
Yeah.
Speaking of why are these movies so fucking long, but still, does rule. Does rule. Anyway, Tanner not with us this evening because of prior obligations.
Plus, his bad
If
opinions.
you are- bad opinions. Had to kick him straight off after some of the things he was trying to get across the board. Anyway, if you want to know the rules, I guess I'll repeat them, or you can listen to the last episode. If you haven't listened to the last episode, you should start there, actually, because it's really
Just insert
foundational.
the whole last episode into this moment.
Just make this one 6-hour file.
That would be so funny. All right. We are going to award on this episode Promotion of the Year, Tag Team of the Year, and Wrestler of the Year. For Promotion of the Year and Tag Team of the Year, we will decide a top 3 and rank them. And then for Wrestler of the Year, we will be doing a top 10 and ranking them. Honestly, I expect this episode to be far, far quicker than last episode. So, without further ado, let's get into Promotion of the Year. Our nominees are AEW, DPW, IWRG, Lucha Memes, Major League Wrestling, St. Louis Anarchy, CMLL, JCW, the GCW variant.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that changes.
Oh, you want to have the other
Oh,
JCW as well?
whoa. Yeah.
Sorry. Also,
That was not
Juggalo
clear.
Championship Wrestling. Sorry. Also, for
Sam,
clarity, I added JCW last night. So none of you actually nominated Juggalo Championship Wrestling for someone that's getting so up in arms about it.
Well, I was just looking at the list and thinking, I cannot believe that Sam did not add Southern Fried Championship Wrestling.
Oh
between
my
the previous
god, I'm
episode and
such
now.
an idiot. Sorry. And Southern Fried Championship Wrestling that you've all watched a lot of. I can tell right off the bat.
I can tell you about the one match from it I've seen. In
Is
fact, I told you about it last night.
Is 2CW nominatable?
Oh,
ran
because
a
of the
show?
Patreon. Great. Oh, they did have a show also. I forgot about that. Does the concert from the
time.
Hardys count as part of the 2CW case?
Probably not positively.
Can I put down Sariism as a promotion?
I think based on us having like 8 promotions, you can add whatever we want. And we'll all be equally versed in all of them, I think, at this point.
Okay.
Starryism definitely counts.
Now I will say
So-
one of our promotions already. Like I'm looking up St. Louis Anarchy. They only ran 6 shows.
Were they 6 good shows?
None of us know.
I know. They're good. They're all good.
I mean, I've watched maybe not 6 of their matches. I've watched probably 4 of their matches. They were good.
That's all that's important, man. What do you need to know?
Name your favorite non-Mad Dog Anarchy match from 2025.
See, that's so easy. It's Jerry Wyatt versus Trick Davis. Come on.
All right. Okay,
No,
all right, okay.
Aaron Williams versus Lord Crew.
That is a good one.
You
Okay,
guys aren't selling me on the promotion here.
I had to test it out here. Okay. So, the only one I actually care about here is DPW, which is funny considering this is the fucking dead one. But I think it gets lost in DPW 2025. We can get to the quality, everything, and all that in a second, because I do think it was a dip and a bit of a step back compared to 2024. But I think it gets lost that they did have a complete year of running shows. The announcement overshadowed everything naturally because everyone is more concerned with the circumstances there. But they did run a whole year of shows, did their usual traveling slate from going to North Carolina, doing Chicago, pretty sure they did Jersey, went out to Japan. They did a whole full year of shows. And again, I think the Tankman reign, and all that stuff from 2024 and leading into like Kozone winning the national title was a higher peak than anything that 2024 reached. But I do think DPW still had a pretty good year.
That's
If you say so.
tough to argue with. If they're so good, though, why are they dead?
Because they're broke. I don't know, man.
Let's
One of
take
the guys
AEW
just left
off.
the podcast.
Yeah, wasn't it?
I think if
wasn't
a
the story
podcast
that they-
breaking up can bring down your promotion, how strong a promotion do you got?
Tanner,
what I
Tanner left
remember-
DPR. Violent People still going.
That's true. But I remember reading that apparently the guy leaving was the guy who did the most like admin work for the actual wrestling promotion.
That was true with Violent People too.
I'm not
that's
gonna
why we don't do any more shows.
lie. I was never into the podcast and all that stuff. So like, I don't even know who you're referring to that did what there.
I don't know their names. Deadlock
just looked at our
guys.
Discord.
Deadlock guy number 1, number 2, number 3.
It was number 2 who did all the work.
Tony the pizza guy.
I think that's true. I think
it is the pizza guy. Yeah.
I think it's
that was him doing that stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. No. Yeah. Look, it's. I think they like, for everything that happened toward like at the end of the year, they were still probably I think the best indie fed in America.
All right.
Well, I think what would be easier to do is to get rid of some of these. Like Chris, I'm sure you wrote down
Oh, actually,
IWRG
can I
here.
can I bring up something real quick, Dan,
Oh,
before we
go ahead.
get
Go
into
ahead.
betting? Do you think the fans, the listeners at home, are going to be kind of upset we don't have the chains listed?
Probably.
I'm
Our
upset
fans
about
love
it
the
because
chain.
Like specifically
forgot
my
to
personal
add it.
enemy. Do you think my enemy will be upset?
You have so many enemies, but yeah, I know who you're talking about, and
Exactly.
he would be upset.
Okay. Okay. We'll leave it off.
See, that's the thing is it occurred to me as I was opening the document, I was like, oh shit, I forgot to put ICW No Holds Barred and Promotion of the Year. But unlike Sam, who just added 2 promotions within the last 5 minutes, I was like, I'm not going to stick it in during the broadcast. That would be rude.
To be fair,
I mean, they
Juddership
also ran a
Wrestling
full
seemed
year of
like we had a lot
shows.
of
They
support for.
also went to Japan.
And they teased dissolving.
So really, and kind of an equal case here to DPW whenever you think about it.
Truly.
All right. Dan, I interrupted you because I really wanted to see if we were missing something here. Were you
Well,
trying to
I was just
break
because I assume
IWRG?
you wrote down RG, and I want to know, do you believe that?
No.
Okay, so we can cross them off. All right.
Okay.
I mean, like I do enjoy like the two IWRG streams a week or whatever they do. Like I always think
It
Yeah,
almost
there's-
rounds it up for me, but that's it.
There's usually 1 or 2 good matches on those shows.
No, like between like the fucking Hellboys and Eoticanis lupuses and spider and spiderflies of the world and all that, like you're gonna get something fun randomly on any of these IWRG shows if you just pop on a random stream. But I don't know. 2020 maybe it is promotion of the year worthy in 2025. I don't know.
Oh, because Sadika didn't wrestle for them in 2025, so
That's also a fair
I'm fine
point.
with.
All right.
I said it a minute ago, but do
Actually,
we feel
no,
strongly?
she did like 2 matches. Sorry.
Do we feel strongly about AEW? Because they're always going to have good matches year round. And it was a better year than 2024 was for them. Like 2024 until the Continental Classic was really dire, and they like boosted the TV, made it a better watch week to week. But it still has the AEW problems, like
Yeah,
booking and
the random lulls in the TV always happen.
Yep, and
the 200
like
person roster.
Yeah, you're always going to have a bunch of good matches in AEW just because it has like the best roster ever constructed, because they have so many extremely talented wrestlers. But it doesn't, like, this last year, while it was a bounce back, I still wouldn't put it as like the best year of AEW history or anything. So I would not consider it for this list.
Yeah, even in like a in-ring capacity, I don't think that the in-ring was so overwhelmingly good that like it overshadows whatever like booking problems persisted with the company from the beginning of the year and then at the end of the year. I don't think that it like really covers those gaps for like as great as I think that like the the spring and summer leading into the fall were and how many good matches exist. It's not enough to make up for like how boring I think Dynamite is a lot of the time. That being said, Collision is just always genuinely pretty good. But obviously that's like the more lower stakes. Let's just go out there and do cool shit
Yeah.
show that they're putting on. So Collision is always pretty fun. But Dynamite, it's it peaks and valleys way too much, I think, to like be able to like feel good about that as any serious contender.
Yeah, and like we've got like on this list one of their partner promotions who had like such a better year and such a highlight year for them, especially like not just as far as like people getting back into the promotion, but just business wise in general. That it's just like, and AEW certainly used some of that to make themselves better by bringing in CMLL guys and like running Mexico more and stuff. But yeah, I don't think like as far as like the major promotions on this list, like AEW is sniffing CMLL.
So are we crossing this off?
Well, we still got to pick 3. So like we can cross it off, but whatever the third spot is, probably gonna be some nonsense like fucking MLW.
Oh no,
the promotion of the year?
MLW should be next to go to.
Whoa! Whoa!
Hey!
You ever watch the product?
Yeah, whenever I have trouble sleeping.
This is outrageous.
We're never gonna get court on the podcast like this.
Yeah, I'm vetoing
The crazy thing is, I was just about to ask Sam how his relationship with Court Bauer was.
It's gonna get a lot worse now.
All I'm gonna say is Court's never given us free tickets. Tony has now. So maybe cross off
Have you
MLW.
asked?
I have asked, and all they did was not reply and instead add me to the press releases. I get every press release now. No free tickets.
That is actually fucked up. Gotta get him off the list.
Didn't even say no. Just added me to an email chain.
Wow.
Not
PCCing everyone, right?
Not respecting real media is crazy.
It's exactly. So
have
MLW
you tried
gone.
going directly through Don Gatto? Have you tried messaging the tequila company and being like, "Can I
either
get
him or Danny
MLW
McBride.
press access?"
I'll use my connections. They going to Tampa anytime soon? I feel like I can make some things happen.
You have Tampa connections?
I've got Tampa connections.
Well, yeah. They're going to they're running
Kissimmee.
fantastic. They're running Fantastica Mania this year.
Yeah, I saw that. That's pretty cool.
I fucking forgot about that.
So
Sponsored
maybe we're saying
by
they're crossed
Don
off this
Gatto.
year because they're the 2026 promotion of the year.
Yeah, they're going to be.
Someone sell me on either of the JCWs.
Juggalo Championship Wrestling, honestly, had a bit of a rough year. The TV kind of drifted because, we all remember when Lunacy started and it was a tight
awesome.
1-hour show,
Yes.
angles, just the right ratio of matches to bullshit. And then it really kind of lost its way in 2025 and it just became VODs of the live shows before ICP concerts. But since Vince Russo has joined up, it's tilted back in the correct direction. So again, Juggalo Championship Wrestling might seriously be in contendership for 2026 just because it is becoming like must-watch weird TV. It's not good wrestling. Like the wrestling still sucks. It's like Fat Ninja Mac versus Stephen Flo. In terms of just being weird only in wrestling bullshit, it's really the pendulum is swinging back in a positive way. But yeah, I think for 2025, you can cross it off.
I genuinely think if we did one of these last year, it's like maybe it makes the list. 2024 Lunacy, that's where it was at.
Yeah. Have you watched any of the Russo ones yet?
I have not watched any of the Russo ones yet, no.
Okay, you gotta watch. I'll find it for you and send you a link. Whichever one has Big Vito trying to make cocaine do a piss test and confronting him in the men's room. He walks out of the stall in the men's room to beat his ass.
Does a zombie get him or something?
Yeah, and he's also afraid of the zombies. The zombie guy's manager is like
I've seen
using them
clips
to
of this, yeah.
like stalk Vito. Big Vito making a big comeback in 2026.
Now, the other JCW, people claim it's good, but I think they're just watching like Mad Dog and Violence is Forever. Like, are they watching Billy Starks and Charles Mason and Masha?
So,
Okay, so
you know
my
how
answer
people
is they are
do
watching
box
Billy
score
Starks.
watching with basketball or football or just sports in general? Folks at JCW, I think, do cage match watching. So, probably not an actually good promotion, but they put on matches that make you think, "Oh, this gotta be good." You just don't ever watch it to find out.
That sounds about accurate. That sounds about accurate.
Like
Their
Nick
shows-
Camarada versus Joshua Bishop. Dan should be raving about that match every week.
I did
gotta
actually
say,
talk about it
people
on this
Never,
podcast.
never heard of
people were not going crazy over the Jersey J Cup this year. It seems like it was a late in the game switch. Once Mad Dog started working there regularly, people got tuned into JCW around mid-year, and even then, they were kind of begrudging the Masha and Charles Mason stuff. I'm pretty sure people unironically like Billy Starks for some reason. But I don't know. I mean, I think they're stepping up to be the new DPW now that DPW's gone away.
Jesus Christ, show some respect.
To be fair, I think
Oh, no,
throughout
I'm
the year
just
they
saying, like-
were DPW light.
Yeah, I mean that's what they always have been, and I think they're kind of stepping into this thing of like the northeastern super indie, the East Coast super indie.
And
It also like doesn't hurt that comparatively for a certain type of wrestling fan, JCW seems like a fucking seems like an oasis compared to like the GCW shit. So it's like you look across the street and then you see GCW and you're like, oh, it's Alley Cat and Effie and Matt Cardona and whatever the fuck is going on over there in a way less interesting product than it was fucking God knows however many years ago at this point. And then you look at JCW and it like looks so much better by comparison that you're just like, oh yeah, like that has to be a good promotion. They're solid, they're fine, but I've never felt comfortable calling them anything good yet, at least for a full show. Like if I can't get through a full show, I still that's always still my rule. Like a full show is the indicator of like whether I like your promotion or not.
I mean, even at the start of the year, they were still kind of the like GCW warm up league.
Yeah.
Or GCW would run Atlantic City for 2 nights, and the night before that, or the afternoon show on one of those, would be the free JCW show on YouTube, where they'd be using like all the local guys who weren't getting paid anything.
I enjoyed in recent GCW stuff. I enjoyed Alley Catch being out of the promotion for a full year, and then she posts out like I'm quitting, like this very obviously I'm worked quitting, and she returns the very next weekend. Like they couldn't even wait, 2 or 3. There's millions of shows they run.
And she's in a feud for the world title against Atticus Cogar.
Yeah, they did the thing where someone shows up wearing a bandana and a black hoodie. They've never run that angle before.
I'm like, oh my God, who could it be? Oh, it's Alley Cat.
This is
wow.
exactly what Quentin was just talking about, where it's like GCW is running their world title program, Alley Catch versus Atticus Cogar. People look at that and then they see JCW and they're like, oh my God, this is so much better.
Yeah, I think that's very much a real thing here. That being said, still fun, but
yeah, we can.
Fine.
Cross them out.
I am going to watch Alley Catch versus Atticus Cogar at some point, because I'm just
of
like,
course.
I gotta see what's here.
Do you?
I do.
Yeah.
I mean, the cut
I
rate
do. I'm
to
not saying anyone else does, but I do.
Okay, so
cut rate to it,
Well-
but we can just do Southern Fried Championship Wrestling, CMLL, DPW. And call this a day.
it seems like it's gonna be CMLL DPW, right?
Yeah. Sure.
So we gotta figure out if it's Lucha Memes, St. Louis Anarchy, or Southern Fried Championship Wrestling. And I vote Lucha Memes because that's the one I've actually watched.
Oh my God, Dan!
I like Southern Fried Championship
Why?
Wrestling too, but I've watched more of Lucha Memes, and the shows are better. Sam, I'm sorry.
No,
Lucha
that's
Memes-
not even true. That's not even true.
You are not getting better indie lucha libre than Lucha Memes.
You're not getting better wrestling than Southern Fried Championship Wrestling. If we are not just over the moon between the feud between Jacob Ashworth and Will Caution, I don't even know if you like wrestling.
I mean, look, here's the thing.
I don't like when things start that way.
Only one of these promotions booked Shelwa. So
That's so true.
my vote might go to Southern Fried Championship Wrestling just based off the fact that they don't book Shelwa.
But they do book Hechicero and Virus.
And
And
Obvious Man.
Sandakan Jr. did wrestle there last year. That is true.
Had a great match.
Yeah. Outside of the fuck that I'm gonna make sure doesn't make top 10 later. Lucha Mammoth is still gonna be the most surefire bet when you're diving into indie lucha that you know you're gonna see something worth your while. Like IWRG, I think you're always due for like a nutty brawl, fun cage match, or some fun or a fun tag. But Lucha Mammoth is always the easiest bet for a good full show.
Yeah,
If Zona
a lot of
23
them are
could get their
under 2 hours.
production issues.
Yes.
Crazy that this is just an IWTV. Or you can get it linked to you by someone in the Discord. Those are your options. But this is an actual streaming service that people that watch wrestling might have. Southern Fried Championship Wrestling, though, on YouTube for free, always, for the people with connections and without.
So maybe it's that's like an honorable mention, like the People's Promotion.
People's Promotion, honorable mention, Southern Fried Championship Wrestling.
So cross out
The
St.
working
Louis
class
Anarchy
hero.
first, and so we know that Southern Fried Championship Wrestling was it was in 4th place. It was right there.
It was right there.
Yeah.
Best box office, Southern Fried Championship Wrestling.
Cinematic achievement.
Exactly. Sorry. Bingo. There it is. And really, if Sexton Alliance versus the Crusade is not a cinematic achievement, I don't know what is.
Speaking of indie lucha, I'm watching Wagner Jr. and Alberto wrestle right now, and I think it was maybe the saddest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Are they wrestling? Who are they wrestling?
It's Alberto and Io de dos Caras, or whichever one his brother is, versus Wagner and Galeno Del Mal.
Yeah, that's on my. I think it's yeah.
Oh
Gotta
Jesus!
check that out.
Okay,
dude, Wagner Jr. is it's making me sad to watch him every time I watch him now.
It's not great.
It really is not. He's not going to win Promotion of the Year.
no.
Oh.
No.
All right, so we're taking honorable mention. Southern Fried.
He wrote an honorable mention. All right.
No,
I
like
Sorry.
People's
Gotta order
Promotion.
them.
Okay.
The People's Champ, Southern Fried Championship Wrestling. So we have to order DPW, Lucha Memes, and CMLL.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a good order to me.
You know what? I'm for it.
I mean, the correct CMLL feels like the correct answer from whatever from whatever standpoint I think that you do want to look at it at. I don't think anyone produces more good to great matches in wrestling than CMLL. Even if you're just watching the Friday shows and the big events, that's just a guarantee. That's a guaranteed pretty fun show almost every week. And if you're in there watching the Arena Coliseo shows or the Playboy shows or whatever. There's a lot of good stuff going on throughout the week, so I don't think anyone puts on more good matches than them. Like Chris was pointing out, 2025 was a year where they had like legit like business growth, and as a brand, it feels like CMLL is like the hottest that it's been in years. Like you can maybe even argue since like the early 2000s. It feels like there's like the hottest like CMLL has been as an entity in a long time. So from every angle there, it feels like CMLL is the correct answer. They have a team nominated for tag team of the year. They have a couple of guys, but they have like one main guy nominated for wrestle of the year here.
They have
CMLL
the match of
for
the year.
yeah, they had the match. They had the match of the year. Didn't he mention that? So good call with you from you there. But like, even though I've had my thoughts on like, I think CMLL's booking doesn't get criticized because I just don't think anyone that watches CMLL criticizes their booking or thinks about their booking that deeply. I still think that they're putting out such good content, and from any sort of promotional growth or exposure or visibility standpoint, that they're doing everything correctly and have just grown and grown and grown. I think CMLL is the correct choice for number one, unless we're just like, we don't want to do
I
it.
think CMLL has done something that I think no other promotion in 2025 really managed, which is that CMLL has a megastar and they keep that megastar hot year round. Like people are still as excited to see Mystico in December as they were in January. And you
Yeah.
can't really say that about any of AEW's top guys. You definitely can't say it about any of WWE's top guys. Like
Just feels
CMLL
like
is
an anomaly of a pro wrestler.
yeah, and
It's like, hey,
CMLL
how Lightning does trade choice, I guess. You can just do it
and
again.
CMLL they have the lightning. They have the bottle to catch the lightning. I mean, I think if nothing else, that puts them comfortably above most promotions this year.
Oh yeah. They can use the bottle to catch lightning, or in other years, just catch flies and watch them literally die right in front of them.
And I mean, I remember like 2016 CMLL, which was genuinely the most boring shit ever.
Oh yeah,
Like
it wasn't always like this. Like the company was super fucking boring, and the guys they were pushing weren't very good, and there's been legit things in which they've gotten better at. The wrestling has gotten better. The non Arena Mexico shows have gotten better. So CMLL would get my vote here. It just depends on what the order of 2 and 3.
I will say it does sometimes feel like it's better by happenstance. It's not by a will.
I think
do so.
Cubstan wrote a thing a while ago where what we're seeing right now and in 2025 with CMLL is the result of a machine that they started building like 10 years ago. And now we're just seeing like the machine fully come into operation and run itself. So it's slow and steady won the race.
Yeah, like if you asked me like 5 years ago where I would rank CMLL as far as like promotions go, it would not be very high. Like after COVID, they were struggling.
Even just in Mexico, particularly, if you like were like, hey, what are your favorite companies to watch in Mexico? And you ask someone that in like 2020 or 2021, I'm like, no one's saying CMLL.
Yeah, like
It would go number 1, Zona 23, number 2, AAA, number 3, other.
Yeah, AAA was like legitimately better for a few years. And now the gap has increased way into the opposite direction. But
does anyone here think Lucha Memes should be above DPW?
no, I think Lucha Memes is perfect at number 3.
Yeah, I don't have any issue with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I mean, last year I got to see DPW on here, so we're good.
Man, what if they come back in like June?
I'm not gonna let
I
them
mean,
win if they're for 6 months. I'll rail
What
hard
if
against them.
they-
That's not enough time.
What if they open a Patreon?
A Patreon just to watch the 3 shows they run would be a hilarious bit.
A Patreon just to post their old matches from 3 years ago.
Come on, don't come at my sweet baby 2CW. We don't need this. We don't need this.
What happened to that Patreon that you followed for like a month, Sam?
I don't know. I
Just-
still
Or
get
you-
notifications every once in a while. I think I had to unfollow it because like they were uploading some stuff I couldn't get behind.
Will you name it?
I can't find it. I can't find it, so I can't.
It was
know-
like Blake something.
Yeah,
or
it was
other.
Dan's friend.
Yeah, I'm
Dan's
I'm
friend.
Facebook friends with Blake O.
What's
It's like he was
what's his
uploading
Patreon
wrestling shows and DVDs, but he was also uploading like entire seasons of like Reno 911 or something.
called? Yes, yes. And like, I think there was like some Girls Gone Wild videos.
Oh
well.
shit! Oh,
He was just, yeah. I
So
can't,
you're getting a good.
can't endorse what he's doing out there.
oh God!
I mean, maybe it was
He's
the
got, like, a-
WWE one.
Oh, sorry. It's
He's
called
got like a
Channel
real normal
666.
Facebook where he like posts about his girlfriend from like 7 years ago. Like, what happened? Why did you leave me?
All right. So just to tell you what the recent posts are. Bad Seed Productions, Fad, full DVD. Adventure of Street Dog, full DVD. Bubba Raw, Volume 2, full
Oh God!
DVD. Bear Bronson versus Otis Kogar, Finals Deathmatch, GCW, NGIX Finals. Those are
Hey, we watched that for Talking Tourneys.
great episode. Great episode. I learned a lot about the Nick Gage Invitational on that episode.
Okay, are we locked in? Are we locked? Are we locked in? CMLL number 1, DPW DPW number 2, Lucha Memphis number 3.
Yes.
I think so.
There we
So
go.
congratulations to the Litteroths.
Oh, and sorry, People's Champ, Southern Friday Championship Wrestling. Congratulations to our winners. All right. We got a humdinger here, folks. It's time to talk Tag Team of the Year. Our nominees are.
Can I make a suggestion to the list?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Should we add MXM Collection?
You certainly can. You certainly can.
I'm asking the group. Does anyone other than me think that they're great, or am I alone?
No, I like them. I just barely watched them last year.
I mean, they were in Ring of Honor, so they only had like 3 matches.
True. Yeah. That being said, I watched like so little Ring of Honor. But I do like them as a team.
Knockout Bros, Mexa Boys, Cerebro Negro, and Cerebro Negro Jr., Karma 1 and Karma 2, FTR, El Sky Team of Mystico and Mascara Dorada, Jet Speed, Futuro and Maxstar, The Young Bucks, and last but not least, Jackie Rita.
Right, so we need to cross out Jackie Rita first thing.
Yep.
No,
Okay, well, whoa, 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 whoa!
what?
How'd that happen?
They're the only ones
What?
on this list that appear on the Match of the Year list.
But
It's the only
it's
match I
more
watched.
important to own Eamon than to make a good list.
This is crazy.
Okay. Look, if they go, that's fine. But they were like by far like the best part of Dragon Gate last year, which is evident by them having the only Dragon Gate match that Sam's ever liked.
Okay, and
Uh,
let's say,
this
They
Sam, you've
don't need
only
to go
seen one of
first
their
thing, but I
matches.
wanted to say that immediately just to make people mad listening.
How
Okay,
many
now the
Young Bucks
serious discussion.
2025 matches have you seen, Sam?
0. Well, one.
Okay. How many the Knockout Boy matches have you seen from 2025?
We're gonna go with 0.
Okay, so we
Zero.
can't let
Brother,
this be
we're
the
gonna have a hard.
barometer
You're gonna
of
have a
whether
hard
or not we
time going
cut
through this
people.
list. I'm gonna tell you up front. No strong feelings. My vote can be easily bought or sold. Where do we want to start here? Who do we want to get
We
rid of?
don't have Matt Tremont and Bam Sullivan.
Well, your biggest supporter's not here. So
Yeah, that's true.
Of the Lucha teams, we can take out Cerebro Negro and Cerebro Negro Jr., who had a lot of great matches. But I think the best Cerebro Negro stuff this year is as a singles wrestler. So we can shout out the good year, but we don't need to keep him.
we got a whole award for that. So Knockout Brothers.
yes.
Tell me about them. They actually good?
Yeah.
They're genuinely pretty good. Oscar is definitely the lesser of the two, but Oscar works to his size, I think, really well and is effective, especially in like the current New Japan landscape. And Ice, like, for all like big up and Bumbleclad aside, like he's actually like genuinely fucking good.
Yeah.
And him in particular, he brings a lot out of his peers in the ring in these tag matches. Like seeing him in the ring with like in tags and multi-mans against like the Uemoras and the Oiwas, like he genuinely brings a lot out of those guys. And this is the first time that New Japan had brought guys back specifically to be in a tag team, and they got that kind of push. And it felt like the audience really did take to and buy into them as like an actual act as a whole to be taken seriously, not like a Ghetto thinks the tag division is a sideshow who gives a fuck type of thing. You actually kind of are interested and buy into the Knockout Boys as an act. They stand alone as an act. They're not like burrowed into a bigger unit, bigger thing. It is the Knockout Boys, and they just kind of rock on their own. No, they're solid, Sam.
But having said that, they just came back in like September, right?
Yeah, I mean, they were tagging overseas, but that would...
If a tree falls in the woods, none of us are watching WXW.
Yeah, I cannot speak for their work in Vixway. But I think I was the one who added them on here. And it was for those like 4 months in New Japan. Because legitimately worth seeking out, and I am not someone who generally goes and watches World Tag League matches. But like the Knockout Brothers have been so much fun and such a breath of fresh air for that tag division that has just been stagnant forever and ever and ever. And like seeing them mix it up with like Oiwa and Zack Sabre Jr. and like Bishamon and those tag teams has just been really good and definitely needed for the division.
Like,
Yeah, this all sounds like they're going to be a real contender for the 2026 Tag Team of the Year.
no, yeah, sure. Which I think is fair if you're just like, in terms of work that people actually watching, they only have about 3. I mean, they have about 3 months, which is fair. But I do like the kind of pace and trajectory that they're on. I think they probably will be one of the better contenders for 2026. But if we're moving on from them, I think that's perfectly okay.
I'm going to be honest. It does feel like we're going to have someone that's barely more impressive than a team that's team for 3 months.
Yeah, I don't think that only having
our nominees aren't screaming hell yeah to me.
I mean, I love the Karmas. They're like one of my favorite acts in Lucha Memes from the past year. But I mean, you take a year of tag matches from Lucha Memes and you probably got about the same as like, world tag.
I guess
team
that's
matches.
true. You're right. How many Lucha Meme shows were there in 2025?
Around 20.
Like
they're running like twice. Like they're running like twice a month. So
yeah, so they were there all year, but they're also not on every show. Sometimes they're working singles matches. They do have work in other indies, but it like usually they're working lesser wrestlers than they are in Lucha Memes, so it's not as like doesn't go down as easy, even though they are very clearly the best wrestlers in that ring. So you know, it's just a different angle to look at it when considering the Knockout Brothers.
what CMLL team do people think is better between Sky Team and Futuro and Maxstar?
Sky Team.
Real heads know it's Futuro and Maxstar. Real heads.
Okay,
Fake
well
fans.
then that's why I'm saying
who are
Sky Team, 'cause
dazzled by
am-
Mystico's.
I'm dazzled. I'm not gonna be put down by being dazzled.
I love being dazzled.
Mascara Dorada is wrestling version of watching keys jingle. I don't know how we keep doing this.
There are so many wrestlers that are legitimately keys jingling.
Dorada's one of them.
I would rather have Barboza and Defunto over Star and Futuro if we're just talking non-Sky Team CMLL teams.
I think that's crazy. I mean, I like Defunto.
Talking good Lucha Libre tag teams, I would put the Crash tag team champions, the Good Brothers, above most.
All right, let's not the Good Brothers. They are MLW royalty, so I think
I thought you were about to quiz us on who the Crash tag team champions were. I'm like, you're gonna need to help us out.
Might not actually be the Crash tag team champions. I just think they are.
Okay, so I feel like I'm generally a pretty big FTR defender, but I'm not really understanding why they're on this list.
Who put them there?
Because someone was too cowardly to put Cope and Christian.
Okay, so we can cross out FTR.
I think I put FTR here literally because when this list first got made, there were like 3 people in this section.
There was a long time where our top 3 was our only 3.
Yeah, there were multiple conversations about should we get rid of the tag team category.
Yeah, and I mean they did have a really good match with Jet Speed. They had some fun stuff with Adam Priest and Tommy Billington.
Yeah.
The Cope and Christian stuff sucked.
I mean, even the thing is like, I think they have good performances in a lot of these matches. Like even the Danny and even the match against Danny Garcia and Nigel, but it goes on way too long and falls into a lot of those like critiques that people do have of FTR that like I'm not nearly as ardent about these critiques as some people are, but I'm watching them versus Denny and McGinnis. I'm like, fuck, this match is still going, huh? All right, like I'm kind of seeing the problem the people have here, and just I don't know. I feel like they obviously wrestle better naturally as heels. That is where they lean in. That's where they shine, and they can do so much good with that. But I feel like since turning heel, they haven't really delivered the way that I kind of would have expected them to. So they're okay. They had an okay year, and they're still in the day a good team that's gonna go out there and have like some good match randomly on a given collision or whatever. Like who knows? Them versus Davis and Doyle fucking next week might rock. But I don't think they had a great 2025.
I think if we were going like manager of the year for a tag team, they'd be number one with a bullet. Yeah.
All right, let's keep things moving here.
What about the Young Bucks? Who's putting them on there?
Yeah,
I'll put the Young Bucks on there.
feel good about that.
Yeah. Actually, I feel the best I felt about a Young Bucks year in a long time. Honestly, they basically just went back to doing a bunch of about a bunch of like high octane spot fest tags and not trying to lean into whatever slower pace and psychology and quote unquote storytelling that they were trying to do as heels with the EVP stick or whatever. But as the year went on and they were turning back face, I felt like they definitely got back into their groove. They ran a lot of good matches, I think, from the 6 and 8 man tags going up against the Don Callis, going up against the Don Callis family, or like being adjacent to the Don Callis family. They ran one of my favorite matches of the year, which is the Anarchy Arena match from last year, which I thought was the best one since Eddie Kingston coming out with the gas canister. I thought that the Bucks were genuinely really fun and very good on TV the majority of the year for when we got them. This is the best year I think they've had in a few years as well. I don't know if this is gonna mean they crack top 3 here, but I do think this was a very good Bucks year, genuinely.
And belong in the top 3. I dipped out of in and out of AEW throughout the year. Like I would watch for 2 or 3 weeks, then I'd stop watching for a few months. But the Young Bucks are, when I first saw the Young Bucks, I loved their matches because I thought, man, it looks like it would be so much fucking fun to wrestle how the Young Bucks wrestle. Like if I was a pro wrestler, I would want to do the shit they do just because it seems like it's a lot of fun to do. And this is the first time they've really recaptured that in a couple years, like Gwen was saying. They have found whatever group. I'm really thankful they didn't try to go heavyweight like some of the other guys in the fleet. Because God, imagine what a disaster that would have been. But yeah, no, I think the Bucks are back, baby.
Yeah, and some of this, if I'm just like giving examples, I thought their Jet Speed match from back in April was really good. Pretty sure Chris mentioned the Brodito match, whether it was earlier today or on the last episode, but they have stuff that I think was genuinely very awesome. And the Bucks are some of the best some of the best trio to 8 man tag workers to ever live, and they got to do plenty of those in the middle and later stages of the year. So I think the Bucks have a very fair case compared to most years.
My counterpoint to all of this is even if my top 3 was only Spot Fest style tag teams, I don't know that the Young Bucks crack it.
Yeah,
like I just think Sky Team, Jet Speed, Jackie Rita, Mexa Boys. I'd take all 4 of those over the Young Bucks.
That's fair.
And they're all
That's
kind of
fair.
wrestling that style vaguely.
I don't think that's an insane take to have on that. No, I get that.
I rate the Young Bucks higher than a lot of just on consistency. Like the Mexa Boys, I love because they will spam all of the most insane things that they can think of, but they'll only have like a 75% success rate. The Young Bucks is like a 95% average. They know what they can do at this point in their careers, and they do the most of it that they can. Versus the Mexa Boys, they're both like 20 years old, and they're like, we're going to go out there and try shit that's completely insane. I respect the big swings, but sometimes there are big whiffs that come with it.
Yeah, I would echo those Mexa Boy sentiments, but to the point about Jackie Rita or Jet Speed. Jet Speed wound up being probably my favorite part about AEW last year. I would have never thought about putting Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight together, but it also made complete fucking sense. And those two were immediately one of the bright spots of the television. And I do think that does mean something to come into a company that is like the great match company, the great wrestler company like AEW, and you put these guys together who have no history together. There's not some long-standing relationship. They weren't a tag team in another company, and just by sheer will of those guys, just both being really awesome and complementing each other extremely well, it just takes off and works way better than I think anyone would have ever expected. You could argue that they should have done more with them. That is like the most that's one of the biggest complaints I would have about AEW in 2025 is that I think Jet Speed would have been a much more interesting team to build around than doing another FTR heel run at the top of the company. But they were a fantastic tag team from basically literally day one.
Is there anyone against just saying the Jet Speed's in the top 3?
No, I'm good with them there.
Well, there we go.
It was
Anyone
waiting
else?
silently for Sam to protest, but
Oh, I don't care. I don't care. Dan, how many matches of Kevin Knight and Mike Bailey have I watched? Take a guess.
0.
Correct.
Okay, so this is a non-Sam category for the most part.
It's a non-Sam category.
Okay. Is there what would be the case against Sky Team being number one?
Sam's particular.
Dorada is Dookie. This is one team I'm familiar with.
You can't just re-enter the
It's them and Futura and
category, brother.
And I'm like, I don't know if Mystico and Masco and Dorada are a top 5 tag team in CMLL.
You can't just re-enter the category, brother. What's going on
well,
here?
I think that the case against Sky Team is that Sky Team is a trio. We left off Neon.
With an even
well, I did
worse
that
wrestler.
to try to placate Sam.
Whoa, hold. You fucking respect Neon. Don't do that shit. No, we're not doing that.
He's really cousins with Showa when you think about it in a lot of ways. Like, there's a relationship there of both sucking ass.
What is going on?
I mean, I almost feel like you have to just. I mean, maybe you can throw out their trios work, but like Jet Speed's in a lot of trios, the Young Bucks are in a lot of trio. Like all these teams are in a lot of trios matches or 8-man or 10-man tags. That's just wrestling today.
I'm saying
and
the Sky
wrestling
Team is explicitly a trio.
I mean, there's been lots of Mystico Dorada tag matches, 2-on-2 matches.
Yeah, I would feel worse if it was like that. Like they only had trios matches, and we just decided that we're just gonna put down Mystico and Dorada and make them the two that we represent here. But Mystico and Dorada did have a fair share of straight up tags as to where like I feel comfortable putting them there. It just depends on if you think their straight up tags were good enough to warrant a spot here or a spot being number one, like I brought up.
While we think about that, JCW Lunacy has just posted, what does Mr. 50s want with Vince Russo? So Dan, I
gotta get back in
on this. Yeah.
So I can make my case next year for Drake Younger. All right, so yeah, Sky Team's gonna be in the top 3. Go ahead and throw them up there.
At this point, I support it just to make Sam sad.
There we go. Hell yeah.
This works for me.
I want to end record. They're simply not as good as Futura and Maxstar.
This is you are so fucking the Wrestling is Gross account said that you should be made to record this episode outside. because of you calling Maquaro Mercutio the other day. So you are lucky that this is like the worst punishment I'm levying upon you.
I don't even know what happened. I feel like I blacked out for a second. It was one of my worst moments of all time on this podcast.
And that's a big list.
That's a big list. It's healthy.
Here's the thing: is like I've listened to you pronounce names wrong for so many years. That somehow being the worst one is a lot.
Yeah, because usually when I fuck up, it's just such a clear fuck up of like, I'm trying. I don't even act like I'm trying on this one. I just say a totally different name. Oh. All right, Sky Team's in the top 3. Congratulations to them. Who we got here? Is Jackie Rita in the top 3?
I think they are.
Sure. All right.
Look, just for the sake of getting more Dragon Gate on the list, so I can say that I successfully turned anything like something Sam related into a pro Dragon Gate into a pro Dragon Gate affair. Let's put Jackie Rita top 3.
They're 1-for-1 for me, which is
That's better than most
everyone
promotions.
else.
Yeah.
Better than everyone else. Yeah.
But even beyond the one match, Sam, I think would you like every single match? Probably not. But Jackie and Rita are like so fucking fun, dude. They're so goddamn perfect for each other. Just two little tiny ass bullies going out there and bumping their asses off and doing cool shit. It's so fun.
And I look forward to that discovery as I go through my VP 100 watching, where voting is going to end at the beginning of March. So get your ballots in.
Good plug.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we need to order these 3: Jet Speed, Sky Team, Jackie Rita.
Sure.
I was just reading them. I wasn't saying that was the order.
Perfect.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Jet Speed 1, Mystico Dorada 2, Jackie Rita 3.
I can get behind it.
Feels like that's how we came to
It really is. It really is insane how much better Mike Bailey is as a tag team wrestler than as a singles.
Who knew he would do it?
It's also notable how much better he is when he's not in TNA and also not wrestling fucking three times in a weekend. Or
I mean, the last
matches.
time that I considered Mike Bailey like an appointment watching wrestler was when he was in the what were they fucking called, Moonlight Express with Mao and DDT, and then he went off and became a singles guy again. And 2024, I thought his stuff on the indies was just unwatchable.
It was bad.
And now tag team has whipped Speedball back into shape.
Some guys are just tag team guys, which it's not like tag team wrestling is awesome. Like there's no shame to just be much better at that shit than going out there and people expecting you to go out there and have 25-minute main events because that's just what wrestling is.
All right, so to fully announce tag teams of the year, decided by Violent People. Number 3, Jackie Rita. Number 2, El Sky Team of Mystico and Mascara Dorada. And number 1, Jet Speed. Kevin Knight and Mike Bailey. That's it. We're cruising here, folks. It is time for our final category. Wrestler of the Year. Our nominees are One Called Manders, Adam Page, Adam Priest, Obvious Man, Bandito, Cerebro Negro, Hiro Hashimoto, Claudio Castagnoli, Darby Allen, El Hijo del Fishman, Hechicero, Jackie Kamea, John Moxley, Judas Altrador, Kazusada Higuchi. I actually don't know if I know how to pronounce their name.
Konosuke Takeshita.
See, I always mess that up. Kyle Fletcher, Maquaro.
Thank you.
Maquaro, Formerly known as Mercutio, Mad Dog Conley, Mark Briscoe, Matt Tremont, Mako Satomura, Mercedes Monet, Mystico, Paul Walter Hauser, Ricochet, Sabu, Sorry, Shinya Aoki, Slade, Thomas Shire, Timothy Thatcher, Tony Storm, Virus, Showa, Yudo Ice, Zack Sabre Jr. Those are your nominees for Wrestler of the Year.
Let me just go ahead and get this out the way. Hold on.
Yeah, I was gonna say we just cross him off because he's not gonna get the support he needs here.
No.
And
Where-
I mean,
where-
you
where
look
is
at
it? Where is it? Get the cross off. There we go.
you,
Perfect.
you
All
look
right.
at
That's
who
better.
is on this ballot. With like Avisman here, Hachicero, Judas El Traidor, Virus, like he's having the same types of matches that Showa has, and they are going to have much stronger cases in general.
He also fucking sucks. So
There you go.
let's just get this done.
Okay, I think we
Bandito.
can.
Adam Page off.
Oh,
It would make
shit.
me sad. It would make me sad, but
I mean, do you really? I mean, is he a top 10 wrestler of 2025 compared to Jackie Kamei and Mark Briscoe? I don't think so.
I don't think so either. When you put it like that,
I think his reign got weird pretty immediately and booked very strange. It got booked very strangely, but from the Christopher Daniels performance in that match, and then him, I think, very naturally and easily working his way back into doing more of his babyface working style and how organic I think that all felt. I liked his run through the Owen, but especially the matches against Fletcher and Osprey, the Mox match from All In. It's an amazing Mox performance, and Hangman is very good in it, but like it's like the Mox show there. But Hangman is there, what I think is one of like the better moments of wrestling in the last couple of years, and the rematch I think is an even better performance from him. And it definitely gets a bit scattered from there and falls off. I do enjoy the Kyle Fletcher match from Toronto. I don't think it's great or nearly as good as their match from the Owen, but I don't think that match is terrible. I don't like the MJF match from London. I think that was a waste of time. The Joe singles matches aren't particularly good, so there's nothing for me to like really grab from there to make a case for him. But most of the stuff that he does leading up until the fall in AEW, I do think he's genuinely really good. Now, does that make him top 10? Probably not, but I thought he was a guy that was at least worth discussing. So if we're going to cut him at this point, it is what it is.
I think you make a good case, but I also think we should cross him out for taking a picture with Marty Scurll at Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
I think actions have consequences there.
We're clearly hard line in the sand here.
okay, who
Yeah.
else on this list
Violent
is a bad
people.
person? Let's find them.
Oh, okay. Well, that I don't know if we have all night.
Yudo Ice couldn't make it the tag team of the year where there were like 6 contenders.
Or
Seems like it's not gonna make the top 10.
what is this anti-Yuto Ice thing? What's going on?
I just don't. I think, are they going to make the top 10 wrestlers of the year if they couldn't make the top tag team of the year when they're mostly at a tag team?
So Yudo Ice.
No, but this is targeted, man.
Yudo Ice is a wrestler who I have mostly consumed in the format of like 20-second clips that people post on Twitter. And those 20-second clips are pretty fun.
He's
Yeah, they're great.
That's my entire
pretty
case
fucking
for
good,
Yudo
man.
Very
Ice.
strong case.
Yeah, I mean that's those are the ones where I'm like, okay, maybe I will watch 20 seconds of New Japan.
What if I told you I have a picture of Yuto Ice at IHOP with I can't think of it with David Starr.
Is it bodybuilder David Starr or is it wrestler David Starr?
Is it?
It's bodybuilder
Is it?
David Starr. He's good.
It was
Oh.
Max Barkley. Oh, that if it's Max Barkley, that doesn't count.
He's a good guy.
The same guy.
David Starr and Max Barkley aren't the same guy.
It's like how Terry Bollea testified that Hulk Hogan had a different penis size than him.
Exactly.
As I was sending my bodybuilder Max Barkley pics to the Discord, I don't think it gets brought up enough that this guy was I think if you called him a middling college wrestler, you're being generous, and he's got the USA Wrestling tattooed on his thigh. That's a wild choice.
I love that thigh tattoo because when he was doing like custom videos where it's just like man puts woman in headlock for 30 minutes, like fetish stuff, he covered his face but made zero effort to cover that thigh tattoo. It was like a criminal just begging to be caught. Which also applies to other stuff he did in life.
Got to show off the leg hair, man.
Yeah.
I think I knew a kid in high school who did that. Has a very similar tattoo, the same tattoo. But
I thought you were gonna say the customs porn.
No, sorry, just the tattoo. He did.
High school's even crazier.
Successful. He did become a successful college wrestler to a degree. But I wouldn't do it in high school. I think it's a bold move when you haven't won a state championship. Anywho.
Okay, so I guess we can't cross off Yuto Ice.
Shout out Naughty Vincent.
We can cross out Yuto Ice.
I just wanted to make my feelings known on the record.
We're crossing out Yuta Ice. All right, cool.
Did you know that Swoggle is in the Crash now?
Didn't know that, but that's pretty good.
I've got the Crash playing on mute on my TV, and it's two teams. One of them has Microman, and one has Swoggle.
Ooh,
we're cooking.
And Swoggle towers over Microman.
Dan, are you the Thatcher guy on this list?
I am.
Okay. What was this? You watching the Evolve and WWE ID stuff, or was this Thatcher's outside ventures? Because I forgot that this was all his. That he like. I forgot he signed back to the Fed. I forgot about this.
I haven't watched much of his actual WWE Evolve. I've watched some of the ID showcase shows, like for WFA or whatever. I just think that he's still Thatcher. He's just doing it against lesser guys on lesser watched shows. I think he's pretty easily a top 10 wrestler of the year. But I think it's like, I made that joke earlier, but it's like if a tree falls in the woods, where it's like no one's watching him, against. I'm like a big fan. I'm not even watching Evolve, and no one's watching him against, Amira or Bryce Donovan or It's Gal. So I understand if I'm alone on that one. I just think that he doesn't have the blow away match of the year, matches. I mean, I like the Travis Williams matches. A lot of people were really high on the Tim Bosby match, but none of these are like, serious match of the year contenders. But I don't think he's lost a step at all at whatever age he is. He just is doing it against actual rookies and, Ryan Clancy.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't dismiss that case at all. It was just I was like, man, Thatcher has been so not visible, at least for me and my viewing habits, that I entirely forgot that he was out there doing stuff. But the idea of Thatcher going out there and still being himself at his execution and acumen for wrestling, but having to sit there and figure out ways to do that while getting the most out of these super inexperienced or just straight up not good wrestlers is actually really interesting. I don't
know if I brought it up last week or one of the VPRs, but like he's had the most singles matches make tape this year as he has in 8 years. It's just no one's watching them.
Yeah, like you're making me want to go and watch Thatcher for like VP 100 purposes because I'm curious to see like what like Thatcher versus Keanu Carver looks like. That sounds fascinating to me.
Yeah, I mean, I really like. He has a match with Brett the Threat. I really liked. There's a Marcus Mathers match I really like, and it's like these aren't guys that I'm liking any other time I ever accidentally watch them. And I mean, there was also he had the Zack Sabre Jr. match. He had some slightly higher profile stuff, but none of it was top. So like I have to admit, even on my VP 100, he's probably going to come in, 8, 9, 10, somewhere at the bottom. So if he doesn't make this top 10, I won't be heartbroken, but that would be my case for him. Would just be consistency and quantity.
And like doing it against like the level of competition that he has.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I get that. I get that.
Okay, doesn't sound like a cut just yet. What about Matt Tremont? Who's putting him on this list?
I'm glad you asked. No.
Oh,
Tremont's had a great year. Like, if we're talking about quantity and consistency with Thatcher, Tremont has the exact same argument. And against better opponents than Thatcher's been having, because he's had the matches with Bear Bronson. I mean, for every, he's had the Mad Dog Connolly stuff. For every match where it's like, Tremont defending the GCW Ultraviolent title against, I don't know, like fucking, Otis Koger or whatever. He's had a great match with Mad Dog or a great match with Bear Bronson. His body is actively failing him. Every match is like watching him not just fight his opponent in a worked sense, but also fight his own physical frame in a shoot sense because his knees are fucked. He's massively obese. He probably has a MRSA infection in his brain by now from that donut on his head. But he's fighting through it, and he's awesome. I think he is a wrestler there. He's in my top 5 on my VP 100 right now.
Yeah.
And I understand that, I am judging him within the frame of reference of stuff I like, which is not the usual criteria for these things, but within the range of like stuff I rate these performers on, he rates very high.
okay. Well, here, fine. Here feels like an easy cross through. Sabu.
Sabu is the only man on that list to have one perfect match.
To be fair, though, I think did he only wrestle that one match? I feel like he wrestled other matches.
No. He did one
he's
match in
he's one for
2025. It was amazing. And then he had the decency to go away and die.
I think if I was gonna rank someone with that low of number of matches, I probably lean more towards Paul Walter Hauser. But that's just me.
That is a great point.
Oh, so we can put them both in the top 10.
We're making a lot of progress.
It feels
here.
like we didn't do anything there, right? Like we just didn't move anything with that.
I thought for sure we could cross off Sabu, but
You
Yeah, let's
guys
cross
can
off
outvote. We actually have 5 people, so it is possible
Yeah.
to do votes and have victors.
Yeah, Sabu's dead.
All I did was state my case.
Yeah, we can
Both
we can
in
get
Wrestler
rid
of the Year
Sabu.
and in our hearts.
let me
No,
sacrifice
he's
one
very
of my own
much
guys.
alive in our heart.
Shinya Aoki, cross him off.
Well, what the fuck?
I don't think so.
I don't think he's top 10 this year. It's like one of those things where the less like when I watched him in theory, I liked him, and then I went and I dug back more in his matches. I like him, but I don't know if he's not top 10 for me.
I feel like Bandito is the person we can really cross off.
Oh,
Yeah, let's
cross him the
get
fuck
Bandito
off.
off there.
Bandito had a good year, but I'm not passionate about his 2025.
Like Aoki, will be in my top 30, just not my top 10. But like Bandito, Dead. Adam Priest, real short. Cross him off.
I think Chris said it. But Priest had a bunch of like 3.5 to 3.75 stars matches, and that'll be the case. And that'll be the case for him because I don't think he was any less consistent than he has been in years past. The input and thought and individual performances in his matches, I think, are just as good as any year that he's been an active wrestler and getting this level of attention and praise. But his peaks are a little lower than they have been in the past, and I think that is what keeps him from being higher. But every time I watch him individually, I still am like, damn, this guy is like one of like the 10 best wrestlers in the world. Just like watching him do what he does.
Okay. Are you getting rid of him? Or keep him?
I think we're getting rid of him.
We
Okay.
we get rid of him. I don't think anyone else is wants to keep Priest here.
All right. Who's watching Dragon Gate for Jackie? They got into tag team. Do we feel
I'm pretty happy. Yeah, I'm not gonna fight for Jackie in the top 10. We got number 3 tag team.
I love Jackie. He can. He's fine. He got in the tag team list. He's fine.
We have more Dragon Gate representation than I could have ever imagined.
Ain't that the truth? Marcuccio here. What are we doing here?
The ace of the junkyard?
Is that what we're calling him?
The people's wrestler?
If anyone in 2025 is the people's champ, it is Makwaro.
It is Makwaro. I cannot think like Zona 23. If Mystico went up against Makwaro, that is the one place Mystico would get booed out of the building. Because Makwaro is that guy. And he is just this insane middle-aged man that bleeds way more than he probably should. And like one of the truly great brawlers out there with a real connection to the fans, and it is just lovely to behold every time.
Yeah, I think he has something that cannot be taught, cannot be learned, can't be acquired. It has to just be there within you from the start. He has that whatever X factor that makes the crowds be like, this is our guy, and we accept no one else as our guy. This, like, I think I called him last time, he looks like a perverted janitor. And he shows up and he patently doesn't know how to wrestle, but it doesn't matter. Like he is, he's Rufus the stunt bum, but if Rufus the stunt bum had an entire junkyard of people like genuinely loving him.
I think Makwaro stays.
Oh, okay. I'm of the indie lucha guys. I prefer Judas El Traidor or Cerebro Negro, but I know that that's not maybe the popular opinion. I don't know.
I take Makwaro over either of them. Sorry, Chris.
I take him over Tridor. I'm not sure about Cerebro Negro, but I do like him more than Tridor.
Can we?
I do think
category.
Avisman looks like more of a little freak than Makwaro, which is impressive. But
in this genre, can we cut Fishman? Not
Yeah,
his
we can.
year?
yeah,
It looked at the start of the year, it looked like it was gonna be his year. It really wasn't. It kind of tapers after the Damus match.
Yeah, he got his top 10 match this year. The year didn't wind up being as strong for him as I think we hoped for.
I mean, he got like the Santo show paydays. Like He was, and he was out there just like getting money, which is great for him, but is not going to, win like ever we're rating on. We're not rating on people's ability to go out and provide for their family. So maybe we should.
Who's the safest worker on the list?
What we need is
the
the Wrestling Observer style box office draw category, where there's fan voting on a category that has like hard numbers involved.
Tell me about Thomas Shire.
Yeah, that's where I was gonna go next.
Is that a
I would
Sam?
like
Is
to
that a
know
Sam
more.
guy?
That seems like a Sam.
Find out weird, Dan, that you're for Thatcher and don't no love for Shire. No love for Shire.
First off, you're coming off real defensive. I just said it feels like you wrote him down.
Sure, I did. Still, feels like
Like
I
you're
should have got a
already
little bit more
instantly on
support.
me. I just said you wrote him down.
No, I could read the tone. I could read the tone. Shire really good here. As far as like indie guys go, one of the better dudes out there. Which might not be a ringing endorsement of the guy, but I thought he had a great year. Like, I think his match against Kenny Alfonso in St. Louis Anarchy, the second runner-up for promotion of the year, I believe.
That doesn't sound right.
The
second runner-up for top
second
3 of
runner-up.
promotion of the year. That's fabulous. It has a match against Manders in the GCW variant of JCW. I think his match against Gary J is not the better match against Gary J he had some years back, but still a hoot. Managed to have one of my favorite matches against Matt Mako, which is to say I thought it was good. Pretty good match against Mad Dog Connolly. Not like Mad Dog's best stuff, who should probably get bolded and underlined starred, but another good match. Like, I think almost everything I see of Shire is good, which is not something I say of most folks out there. He's just a guy that I think gets it. Grapples well, hits hard, can chuck people around. He's got kind of an unassuming face, which I also dig.
You attacked me, but I was gonna say, if I have to keep one, I'll keep Shire and cross off Manders.
Sure, I would do that. We all for that?
I don't feel strongly about.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think if I feel the way about Manders being cut, and I don't.
I like Manders, but I don't know if
Manders is good. He's better in theory than I think he is on an actual output basis. He's very he understands what he's trying to do, I think, for the most part when he's wrestling, and oftentimes I think he does have good performances, but I don't think that'll ever translate to Manders consistently being a great wrestler.
Sure, that's real.
Manders has the thing that I think Mance Warner has, where it's like, I wish they were the wrestler they act like they are.
You guys, I found out yesterday that Mance Warner's real name is Court Miller.
That's fucked up.
Disappointing. I don't want to hear that.
Court.
All right, we're making some progress here.
Tony Storm. Good, really great first half of the year. With the Mariah May stuff, and then she's got the great match with Mercedes. And she's great in the Blood and Guts match. But compared to the other women's wrestlers we've got here, I don't know if she sticks.
Um,
I'd take Mercedes over Tony, I would take Chiro. I would probably take the Mako retirement run.
My actual favorite Tony match from last year wasn't even either one of the Hollywood ending or the Mercedes match. It was actually her versus Megan Bayne on whatever pay per view that was. Might have been God, whatever pay per view where they ran her and Megan Bayne on. I thought her and Megan Bayne was incredible.
I think that was Revolution. Oh, Dynasty.
I thought her and Megan Bayne was incredible. I thought that was honestly one of the best Tony Storm performances I've ever seen from her. Timeless gimmick, rocker punk gimmick, whatever the fuck. That is one of the best Tony performances I've ever seen. And for me, the Hollywood ending was like icing on the cake for how good she had been, or was becoming to get during this run. Because the Megan Bayne match was enough for me, but how good she was at like just establishing Megan, who was just so fresh to the television at that point, into turn in that kind of performance and get her ass kicked, but still feel like when she won the match, it felt a little earned, even if it protected Megan a lot. I thought that was a masterful Tony performance. That being said, Hollywood ending is great. That is a great match. So I'm not like because we're not comparing it to other stuff. I'm not even going to downplay it. I think it's a really good match. I just straight up don't like the Mercedes match as much as a lot of people do. I think it's okay. Something about the way they were building it just didn't really connect or land with me. But I do think she's really good versus Mina Shirakawa and their title match on pay per view. To that point, afterwards, I do think that it gets a little dry. She loses the belt in a 4-way, and she's just kind of used as she's just a big star. You just kind of can plug her anywhere. You can use her as fill in for the Death Rider story. You can use her to establish this women's tag title tournament. Toni Storm is just such a big star that you can do things with her because she's a star and she can be really plug and play, and that's great. But I don't think that lent to the greatest use of her skills and of her assets. But the first half of the year for Toni Storm was genuinely probably the best I've ever seen her wrestle.
Yeah, I forgot that Megan Bayne match was this year still. I had it at like tail end of last year, but yeah, that was really fun.
So
where
where
would you rank her? Oh, go ahead.
Are we rating just on between the bells in ring, or are we rating the total package, including like angles and promos and presentation, bar quality?
I mean, if you make a case for all that stuff factoring in, I don't think that anyone would like shoot it down.
I just think because if we're going strictly in ring, I would say Tony, her case isn't as strong. If we're folding in all the stuff that is like outside of the matches, like all the angles and I would say that really boosts Toni Storm and vaults her head and shoulders over a lot of people because she found her voice. She found actual stardom in being this over the top perverted caricature of herself, that being the like one stripe under the eye backwards hat NXT woman was never ever going to bring her.
No, that's a great point. And even if I think that her in-ring work suffers because she's not focused on during the latter part of the year, it says so much about what she's accomplished in the level of equity and buy-in that she has accumulated in AEW to this point that you can just throw her in randomly to anything and it's okay. It doesn't matter. And they haven't had a woman that they can use like that yet. I think Willow is kind of sort of in that realm, but Tony can be, oh yeah, just let's add her to the Death Rider story and get her and use her to get Marina some reps, or let's use her to establish these titles, and let's do like Tony can just kind of do whatever because she has so much goodwill with the audience that Tony is just as box office, just as important as MJF, as Paige, as whoever you want to name, because she just, like you said, has found that voice. So if you factor that in, maybe I don't feel good about cutting Tony yet. But at that point, then I'm trying to look around at who should be these next round of cuts here. I put them down just to fuck with you guys because I want to make this list longer. Darby shouldn't be here.
Yeah, Darby. I mean, the thing you can say about Darby is that while he's around, he's great, but he just simply isn't there for 9 months of the year.
And then even when he comes back, it's not consistent either. Like he's still getting hurt and taking some weeks off. Like we didn't even get Darby in the Continental Classic, and I'm like, fuck, dude. Like I really wanted to see Kyle and Darby. I would have loved to see what Kyle and Darby looks like. I would have loved to see what Okada and Darby would look like, but we didn't get to see either of those things.
Man, that kind of night match is great.
Yeah, so Darby sadly, because honestly, every year Darby probably should make top 10, but I think it's a little hard this year to make the case for him.
Yeah, he just doesn't have the input.
Is the Satomura 4-month retirement run enough to get her in your guys' top 10?
I think maybe not, but like those matches, even beyond any sort of like idea of this emotional connection to it, those matches during the rest of that during the rest of her career are just genuinely really fucking good. The retirement match is awesome. The rematch is great. Like she's genuinely one of like the very best wrestlers in the world up until the minute she retires. And I'm not sure I feel passionately enough to like say that she's top 10 with just the 4 or 5 months. But goddamn, like she's so good literally up until the last second.
Okay, and then Slade, I guess, is like having matches of the year, so we got to leave him on here.
Number 2 on my VP 100 ballot.
Oh, okay. Shit. Maybe Slade
crack,
doesn't
crack cocaine.
The case for Slade, I think I said in the last part, is he's a guy who knows that wrestling is fake, but he makes you believe that he doesn't. Even if he's in a GCW match that only I am ever going to watch, he is putting 1,000% into it in a way that like no one else does. The way he attacks people in matches, he comes across like he is actually trying to hurt them, and it's a work. It's completely a work, but no one else makes themselves look like such an undisciplined savage as he does. Even like the hardcore guys who genuinely don't know how to wrestle and are hurting each other.
What I would say to Chris, Sam, and Quentin is, if we don't cut Slade now, look what happens. He'll be in the top 10.
You're making a great you're making a great point here.
I think we got to just bite the bullet, cut him.
Okay, if we're cutting Slade, then we got to cut someone you guys like. Then
let's hear Slade out. Let's hear Slade out.
I prefer the Matt Tremont case over the Slade case personally.
Look, I like both. Why not both?
Ugh.
Oh no! Well,
I make the list.
Hold on, Mad Dog, Tremont, and Slade.
No, hold on. We're definitely not getting all 3 of those through. let's wait a second.
We can drop Mad Dog. It's okay.
No. If I had to choose between Slade and Tremont, I will choose Slade.
Interesting.
If I had to choose between Slade, Tremont, and Mad Dog, I'll just take Mad Dog. Cut the other 2.
Well, that's not your choice.
I think Mad Dog is going to even in a what I will call very much a down year for him compared to what the last couple of years have been. I think Mad Dog should stay no matter what. Yep. Between Slade and Tremont, I'm picking Slade.
Yeah, I think the biggest case against Slade is that no one fucking watches Slade. They should, but they don't. Like Slade should have had a year like when everyone got really horny for watching Damus matches for like 9 months and then forgot about him. Slade should have had one of those years, but he's not working places that people want to watch.
Slade genuinely rocks, and I'm kind of surprised that his act hasn't translated more. I guess because he's just kind of like he's not. There's nothing overtly like spectacular about him. He's not like a really big guy or like super jacked or like really fucked up and weird looking. He's just kind of a guy, which works because how he wrestles and how he is, I think it still translates. He has like a ton of physical charisma that really lends itself to how he works. But I've genuinely been shocked that Slade hasn't gotten like the cruel treatment in places because I'm like, this seems like the guy that would actually have some weird cult following in 2025. But
Well,
it just hasn't
in
happened.
GCW, he's in a faction with Cruel.
Yeah.
Slade, Charles, Mason, and Cruel are a trio in GCW. But that's what I mean. No one wants to watch GCW.
You trying to make us? They did have a show of the year. People are saying,
Yeah, no, and he was on it. He faced H.C. Loke.
and I'm not even like trying to downgrade Slade. It's just like we have 26 guys here. I think people have to be
Yeah,
cut.
but I mean, I kind of look at it as like, okay, we drop Slade, but we keep Virus.
I'll say cut them both.
Well, that seems kind of misandrist of you.
Nobody jumped up to defend Virus.
I'm not gonna
sorry.
lie.
I just wasn't paying attention to you.
I don't have it for Veers this year. Veers one of those guys where I feel like we always have him on these lists just to like make the first cut, and I'm like, I love him, but like I don't got it for him this year, man.
I think
feel like this is a real weak year, and I feel like someone like Virus has a place more than most folks, as he's still the guy that you can pretty much plug into any trios match, and he will be the highlight of that match. 90% of the time.
I think the issue with us having 26 guys left on this list is that they are all people who think are consistently good. We just have to figure out who are the ones who had years that broke past consistently good and into even occasionally great. Virus is someone you count on for like a 3-star match minimum, but like, is that enough compared to being like a genuine superstar like Mystico, or an award-winning actor like Paul Walter Hauser?
I don't find that same level of consistency with Mystico or Hechicero or even Mad Dog. Like, these are wrestlers I like a lot, but they have a floor that can really drop pretty precipitously. So that's kind of where the rubber meets the road for me, is that I don't agree that everyone's like consistently good.
I mean, we definitely don't have any people who are like
going
actively bad on
for
here.
him, but I highly recommend watching the match where it is him, Dr. Pollux Jr. and Hechicero versus Showa, Blue Panther, and Kwama Jr. from March 37th. Shockingly, it's a really great match. That was kind of
Dr. Pollux Jr. is
surprised
a slept-on indie luchador.
100%, 100%. He was really impressive in this match. It may be my favorite Showa performance of the year as well, if that is anything. It's a really good match. It's great. Everyone should watch it.
You know what we might do with this list right now? What if we all went through and we chose one person to italicize? Like, as our, like how we did the italics thing with the match of the year category. Like, what if we just went through and each named our number one out of the 20 people remaining.
That'd be the closest. That'd be the easiest way to get close to getting some of this done. So yeah, I'm fine with
Name our
that.
number one. I mean, Mystico.
Mine is Moxley.
That would be Mad Dog.
I'm gonna go with Slade.
There we go.
And my pick of these would be Avisman.
Okay, that is 5.
That's 5. Just lock him in? Should we just lock him in?
I think
Fuck it.
I think like Moxley and Mystico are for sure locked in.
Fuck it. Slade's in the top 10. Look at that.
I feel like we should just lock them all in. I think that would cut through some of this.
It would cut through, but it does feel. I don't want to be presumptuous. I don't.
Obvious man.
No. I don't want to be presumptuous, but I think that like the only two that I feel like would be like the least pushback would be Mystico and Moxley.
I think Mad Dog.
I'm gonna say Mad Dog. I feel like Mystico, Mox, and Mad Dog would get the least pushback.
So Quentin is saying Chris and Pat, you guys don't count.
That's what I'm hearing.
We just have patrician taste.
That's true. I mean, it's right.
Now, actually, something. This is totally off what we're saying, but I'm looking at all these AEW guys, and this breaks my heart. But does Mark Briscoe belong on here?
Ah, man.
I love Mark Briscoe. One of my favorites of all time. But I think I'd take Ricochet over him this year, which is gross to say.
I think.
I don't know.
I think I feel the opposite.
On there,
yeah, I think I'd still take Mark.
The one you can cross out right now is Claudio. Like Claudio's not making it through.
I got no problem giving it to Claudio.
Good night, my sweet prince.
Smell you later.
The actual most evil member of Death Riders.
Oh, that's Yuta.
Look, I'll say this about Claudio. Claudio in a unit where they've done where they've waterboarded men, suffocated them with bags, poured chemicals on people. Something about when Claudio takes a chair and when Claudio comes down to the ring and he just like fucking mushroom stomps on someone's neck while the chair is on it, and when Claudio decides he wants to kill someone and annihilate Darby by throwing him on the fucking announce table, something about Claudio's involvement just feels way more fucking sinister than anyone else in the Death Riders.
It is because he is a chiseled, bald, white European Superman.
Yes, Claudio getting involved just makes everything so much more worse.
It's like when the whole Death Riders thing started, and it came out that Moxley was basing part of his character on the neo-Nazi gang leader from the movie Romper Stomper, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, Moxley's going to be a Nazi." Claudio is the guy who looks like he's actually a Nazi soldier.
Yes. And he just comes there and just does the most violent shit possible with no expression on his face, and he's just out of there. Claudio's gone, but Claudio I thought was really fun in 2025.
Yeah,
I mean, I had proposed at one point replacing the tag team of the year thing with group of the year, like stable of the year, and Death Riders would have won that. Like, we might as well have not even listed anyone else.
Kyle Fletcher, huh?
I did put Fletcher down, yeah.
So we just kind of had a little debate, I guess, over Briscoe and Ricochet. Right, leaving Fletcher kind of, is he definitely above both of them?
I would have him above Ricochet. I'm not sure above Mark, but I would have him above Ricochet this year.
Same.
Fletcher, there's the Ospreay cage match that I think is solid. from this year, but I think is very much the least of their matches from their big series that was bleeding in years from 2024 and 2025. But I think he still was really good at being this kind of like athletic freak heel who knew when to shoot, knew when to show ass and be vulnerable, but also be this freak athlete who was super explosive and can turn it on better than anyone else in the company. In terms of like shifting gears in a match, I think Kyle really understands the psychology of how good his moves look. So when he just pieces that offense together, I think it looks just as dangerous looking or great looking as anyone else in the world. And he does it as like a skill, not like a I'm just gonna chain moves together because they look good. It genuinely feels like Kyle's like taking control of the match and that he's this really imposing force on the other guy that I really don't think most people understand how to do as well as he does. And then even beyond that, which like, him in his comfort zone facing guys like Mark Briscoe or a speedball or whatever, he can go up there and have something like the Dustin Rhodes street fight when he wins when he wins the TNT title. And that to me is where you see how much Kyle really understands what he's doing at this point in the game, where it's something more up Dustin's wheelhouse and Kyle can still do Kyle stuff by being physically imposing, physically dominant, but he knows when he needs to take the bumps. He knows when the audience needs to see him fall into some thumbtacks, fall into some glass, get some comeuppance. And he has great timing for all of that. And working a real mean, nasty street fight with Dustin and turning that situation into kind of him making the TNT title win mean something to some extent. I thought was really good. Him and Mark Briscoe is pretty much foolproof as a pairing. I could argue that they maybe had diminishing returns the more that they wrestled each other, but I thought that generally him and Mark were a really great pairing throughout the year. And I still enjoy the Hangman match from Toronto. I think that's not the most representative work of what Kyle is great at this point in his career, but Kyle is still good in that match. And then the fucking crown jewel of it all is the Moxley match from World's End. I think Kyle has for my money, this is the second or third best match of the year. Obviously, it was number one when we just did the stuff the other day, but Kyle and Moxley is phenomenal. And for as much as we're going to talk about Moxley and how great he was in that performance, and how great Moxley has been the entire year, Kyle is phenomenal in that match as well. It's not just the Moxley show. So, with that being said, Kyle would be above Ricochet for me. The more that I talk, I kind of feel like I should have him above Mark, but I kind of want to talk Mark out because he was so good on the TV the entire year, just everywhere they put him. But I feel confident in saying Kyle deserves some consideration.
I think one of the things I can say to plead the case for Kyle Fletcher is have any of you ever watched a KJ Orso match?
I have.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so you can see how easy it is to like try and do this character and be absolutely dog shit at. That Kyle Fletcher has managed to avoid all of the pitfalls that he's managed to avoid being KJ Orso is a credit to his ability to work this character.
That's not where I thought that case was going, but that genuinely is probably like the best case for Kyle actually understanding what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, because everyone wants to be like the cool heel who can do cool moves, and like while also very performatively trying to get like old school heel. Like KJ Orso does every trick in the book to like try and get the crowds upset at him. And unfortunately, it's like it just doesn't come together. But Kyle, it comes together, and when you see people doing it badly, you realize how special it is when someone can do it well.
I think Kyle should be in the top 10.
What?
I think
I
Fletcher's gonna get the game
blacked
of
out
title
when you said
sides.
that. So, are we getting rid of Mark or Ricochet?
Dan, talk to me about this, about Mark or Ricochet.
I feel like if you asked me in June, Mark might have made my top 5. Like I felt like Mark was, I mean, I will. The hardest part is that Ricochet's best stuff is the Mark Briscoe matches, but I feel like Ricochet was more consistent at the end of the year. He was more prevalent on the TV that I watched. He was more prevalent. You know what though? I did see him against Ace Austin. It was one of the worst things that ever happened to me. I stopped that cage match when I saw the Ace Austin match. So you know what? Cut them both. But no, I don't know. I kind of forgot. I just kind of forgot about Briscoe because I feel like, what did Briscoe do after June? I mean, there's some good stuff there, but it's not like him. It's not his fault. But I don't know that Briscoe got a chance to really do much after that point. I mean, he had the MJF match at All Out, but outside of
Yeah.
that, none of these. I mean, I know he's in Blood and Guts. I mean, he has a Kyle Fletcher matches. I like Mark, so like this isn't like downgrading Mark. It's just like I don't think he is in the top 10, and I also don't want my top 10 to be all AEW guys. So it's like I want Moxley in there. If we're gonna put Fletcher in there, it's like, do we need how many AEW guys do we need in the top 10?
Like 8
So
or
at this
9.
point, so at this point, you're saying that we should X out Mark and Ricochet.
Well, here's
Yeah,
my
kind of like
here's my
that.
thought on it. I think we should X out Mark and Ricochet and put Mercedes Moné in the top 10 over both of them.
I don't want
Yeah,
to kill
I'll-
the gimmick, but I don't hate Monet in the top 10.
I really don't either.
I feel very strongly that she should be in the top 10.
And like, the closer we got to doing this, I was like, man, like Mercedes on this list, huh? But then that last Willow match happened, and I was like,
Yeah.
shit. Like,
Guess she is. Guess she is.
I mean, I think she's had a pretty special year. I think she's found her new voice as, the heel CEO. I forget if she got rid of Camille last year, whenever the Camille stuff. Once the Camille stuff was gone, like that was a weight off her shoulders. I kind of consider her and Tony like 1A and 1B, and I don't know if we just want to keep one of them, but if we were to keep one of them, I'd probably say it's Mercedes. But she's got a win over Alice Inc.
I'm not opposed to Mercedes staying.
Yeah, I mean, like with the Tony match, the Athena match, like her ability.
I love her. I love her and Momo Watanabe. Like,
Yeah, her ability to have a good match with someone who is not very good in Harley Cameron at the beginning of the year.
okay, Mercedes stays.
Now, are we getting rid of Tony?
Yes.
If I have to choose, if I have to choose Mercedes or Tony, I'm gonna choose Mercedes.
Wow. We're making some real brutal cuts here. Brutal cuts.
Let's cut Judas El Traidor.
Okay.
Because I think his argument is a very similar to the one I would make for Avisman, but not as good. Because he's a guy who can do a Yave style match. He can work a brawl. On occasion, he can do some old man flippy stuff if the Coke is particularly good in the indie arena that night. But like, if I put them head to head, I'm taking Avisman every time.
I'm down with that.
Now, has Hashimoto had a good year? I don't feel like people have been talking her up like they have in years past.
Not to the same extent that the last couple of years have been, but I would still confidently say that she's one of the one. I know this means I would confidently say that she's still one of like the 5 best wrestlers in Japan.
So how would you compare her to Sari?
Generally, I actually do like Cheer more typically, but I think Sari had the better year. I think Sari going to Stardom was actually a good thing for her. I was surprised. Well, not that like Sari fits anywhere, but I was a little shocked at how much more I liked the roster fit for her being on Stardom than opposed like when she was freelancing and doing Marigold. But her bringing her brand of we're gonna drop each other on our head and just punch the shit out of each other and aggression and nastiness to the company, I think has lent more to like what I think she's good at and having better matches with that crop of women there. The Maiko match obviously is really fucking awesome. One of my favorite things, and I think Sari continues to be really good when her tags and multi-man showcases. She has. I'm not a big Shuri fan, at least in when Shuri has these big long title matches, but Sari and Shuri actually did enjoy quite a bit, which I do give a lot of that credit to Sari. So this year, I probably would choose Sari.
Okay. So we cut Hashimoto.
And Sari?
Oh shit.
I mean, I'm
I
not
would
sure if
leave
Sari
if we're
had
talking about
the.
Japan, I would leave Sari over Zack Sabre
Aoki?
Jr.
I was
Oh.
about to bring Zach up. I was about to take a temperature
Stand.
check on Zach because he did like. I mean, Zack Sabre Jr. really doesn't have bad years. This has been true for over a decade. Like some great matches in there. The Ricochet match, the Takeshita matches, the Nigel match, KT Yano match.
Him
Are we
making
feeling
out
that
with
this is
Antonio Honda in 2025 or 2026? Zack Sabre Jr. was the match where he made out with Antonio Honda in 25 or 26, because that's going to affect my voting here.
I feel like that's 25.
I'm gonna double check while we talk. I go into Google. I typed Zack Sabre Jr. and the first auto fill thing is Zack Sabre Jr.'s sexuality.
To Chris's point, this year Zach has the Takeshita matches that I think are all really good. The KT Yano match. I like all the Goto stuff. Like the Goto match from February, obviously, is the one that gets it gets the majority of the attention. But I also still really enjoy the other Goto matches. That we get. Zach doesn't do as much indie stuff as he has in years past. He has a few different shots, and honestly, like a lot of them, I feel like are wasted on people that I really don't think he should be wrestling. But like, I don't know. Like, I thought him and Fuego del Sol, the now KJ Orso, was a pretty good Zach performance. There's the Zach and Thatcher match, and I've really liked Zach and Oiwa as a tag team, which I feel like is the one thing for Zach now, because before with Zach, it was like Zach and Taichi. And not that Zach was a bad team, but like with New Japan and how they run, if you're not in the cycle of being one of the heavyweight champions or contenders, you're just kind of doing tags or whatever. And it was Zack and Taichi, and that was fine. It was cool, but I think Zack and Oiwa is a much better tag team than Zack and Taichi was in those years. So when Zack isn't doing anything important, the fact that he's still falling back on these TMDK tags and teaming with Oiwa makes his years a bit stronger than I think they usually are, or at least were in that Suzuki-gun era.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if Zack lasts as top 10, but Zack has enough strong stuff for me to think that he could be like a back half guy.
Okay.
So
Then
how
what
do
about
we all
Higuchi?
feel about that? Do we all agree? Are we all on board with that?
I would
feel
cut
like
Zack.
You know, Zach, him making out with Antonio Honda was in 2025, so I think cutting him would be homophobic. On the other hand, he's English, so I think we probably should cut him on moral grounds.
Chris, do you have a stand?
I mean, I put it like helped put it out there, but I would take like Zack over Thatcher.
So let's catch
I
Thatcher.
mean, same. We can lose them both. I'm fine with that.
Whoa,
All right, Thatcher's gone.
Okay.
Thatcher's
gone, but Shire and Slade are still here. What are we doing?
Do you
That
want
got-
Shire too?
Slade, we
That
got
that got real violent out of nowhere.
You want to take Shire with you?
I guess, yeah. Whatever.
I fully
All right.
support getting Shire out of here.
All right.
I mean, just get
Should we just
anyone
take-
that works U.S. Indies out of here because none of them are as good as Thatcher's. So Tremont, Mad Dog.
Should we take Zack?
cut
Is
him.
Zack the final cut
Well,
of this triumphant?
We can get rid of Tremont because Tremont has the same problem that Thatcher did, where Tremont has had a lot of really shitty opponents this year, and it's hard to have a truly amazing top 10 worthy year when half the time you're facing like fucking Flying
I guess
Ryan
cut
or
Tremont and cut
GCW.
Zach. We're just fucking
Wow,
getting
folks.
into it now.
We're
I'm
cutting
fucking
Tremont,
pissed
I guess.
off. Cut Aoki too. Fuck it.
I want the record to state I had nothing to do with that.
I'm fucking
All right.
heated.
I think we should err on the side of caution and just preemptively eliminate anyone who was involved with Brit Rest scene of the 2010s, just to cover our.
Aoki is a worse Thatcher. Cut him.
What is Dan?
I'm fucking done now, Quentin.
Have some composure.
Some people
So,
just aren't
I was
built for
sitting
this.
here being nice.
I'm not trying to pit the Japanese wrestlers against each other, but let's put the Japanese wrestlers a little against each other here, real quick, just to get a temp check. We got Higuchi, we got Takeshita, we got Aoki, and we got Suri, who we already have discussed a bit. Is there a consensus of, I guess, the three men in this sense?
I'm taking
Would put
Higuchi. of the three.
Higuchi. Yeah, Higuchi's the top out of those
Higuchi.
three.
Okay, should we italicize Higuchi? Do we think
No
that would be
objection.
the? I'm not saying it's the DDT representation, but that would at least seem like if there's gonna be, he would be it.
I mean,
would pick.
Takeshita has held the DDT world title many more times than Higuchi, but yeah.
If I had to pick between those guys, I would pick Higuchi.
Okay. Again, kicking off Aoki.
Okay, can I? I don't think Hechisaro's top 10 this year.
I
No,
don't think
he's not.
Hechisaro's top 10 this year.
Like, obviously,
That's
everyone,
true.
obviously, we all love him, and like, I'm beyond thrilled that this guy gets to go out there, and in that Tony Khan took a liking to him, and that this guy gets to go and do shit like wrestle Mark Briscoe for the TNT title. I think that's awesome. I don't think he had a top 10 year.
Yeah, if we're
Yeah,
cutting
it is-
Mark Briscoe and Zack Sabre Jr., Hechisaro is the same beast.
We've come a long way since Hechisaro was shocked that he got ranked for match of the year against Charles Lucero.
I'm sorry, Paul
Oh,
Walter
okay.
Hauser is still. I'm sorry, Paul Walter Hauser is still.
Oh no, my sweet prince!
I'm sorry. Hold on. Like, let's just. You know what?
One,
I
two, three, four.
Don't even worry. I got it. Don't even worry about it.
I'm
Can we
in
talk
support
about
of
it?
this,
We
but
don't
can
get to
we
talk about it.
What the fuck are we
please-
talking about?
Can we talk about it?
About
We were
what?
5 wrestlers away.
Brooks
We really could have
title
done this.
holder.
See,
Hey,
this is you guys ever did you guys ever see the movie Dogtooth?
Yeah.
Oh,
Where like the kids are, kept inside a walled garden into adulthood so
And
they don't understand the outside world at all. I feel like Quentin being like, what the fuck is Paul Walter Hauser doing this? He just walked into the Dogtooth yard and saw the four of us being freaks and is just like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
He was so close. I fully support it, but he was so close, our sweet boy.
Like here's the thing: is like when I come here, I know that I'm coming into nonsense. Like at some point, we got to draw the line here.
Let me ask you a question. Have you watched more than one of his 13 matches from 2025?
He has 13 of them.
Yeah, he did.
yeah,
So maybe
he's an
I'll
actual
try
pro
them.
wrestler.
No, he
No,
takes
I
this
did not
shit
watch.
seriously.
No, I did not watch more than 13. I did not watch more than one of them. You're correct.
Yeah,
So maybe you
is
don't know
a-
what you're talking about.
You're absolutely right, Dan. I don't. I didn't know that he had more than one match. You're right.
He is an
He's an
award-winning
MLW
match.
regular. He holds a title in progress.
He's
I'm
an
sorry.
MLW part owner.
Dan, holding a title in progress does not help someone's case. Maybe
It does, you're right.
I actually think that I think you just disqualified him. Honestly.
That's fair. I went too close to the sun there.
Thanks.
What do we have? Why is Virus not crossed off?
Yeah, we're crossing off Virus now.
What?
It's shocking that he made it past that like brutal bloodbath from a couple minutes ago.
You folks are just a bunch of losers.
So we're gonna count how many we have left. We don't have that many left now.
We might
We
need
only
to
had
go.
9 left.
We might need to go uncross some wrestlers.
You might have got too crazy there. No, I think we have
Yeah,
13.
13.
We gotta
And
cross 3
there's
more off.
only 4 or 5 wrestlers that are not italicized.
Okay,
Now,
bring
can
up
we
bring up the ones that are italicized.
Okay, yeah.
Trevor Negro, Keshka, Quaro, Tari, Chidi. That's it.
Do we cut Suri now?
Okay, okay. Once we
He had a good run.
Okay, we have Mox, Mystico, Avisman, Higuchi, Fletch, Mad Dog, Mercedes. What is that like? Is that like 6 or 7 that we have?
And Slade.
Well, I think Slade is technically italicized.
Okay, Slade is something that's out.
Slade is. It's not just technical,
Technically.
baby.
Okay.
What's technical about that?
Okay,
So we have
how many?
8.
Okay,
if you count all of them.
How many people with the special text format do we have?
8.
Okay. Out of the 2 spots left, I would go. Shit.
I can be honest, you guys got rid of all the people I would put in there. So I would probably, even after all this shit talking, I'd probably go Aoki and Cerebro Negro.
Oh, that
I would
rules.
go
That
Cerebro
rules.
Negro and Maquaro.
Give me Sari and Cerebro Negro.
Cerebro Negro and Maquaro.
Trevor
Sam?
Negro and Aoki.
So it feels like Cerebro Negro's definitely
Yeah.
in it.
So Cerebro Negro gets in.
Congratulations. What a weird top 10.
This is awesome.
I'd rather us have a weird top 10 than some fucking Voices
we
of
need-
Wrestling fucking boring ass shit.
I think we take
From
McQuarrie
Shinya
out. I
Aoki-
think Chris has got a little too much.
From Shinya Aoki, Suri, Makoro, and Takeshita, we need one of them. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do we want to just
Aoki.
go around and vote again, see what happens? I say Aoki.
Aoki.
I'm sticking with Makwaro, baby.
Go with Makwaro.
Okay, if I have to choose between Aoki and Makwaro, I'm gonna go Aoki.
One of the first cuts I brought up, and I'm like, put him in the top 10.
Hey, you really are an inconsistent person.
I'm emotional, and I'm really upset about the Thatcher thing. I thought for sure, I was like, I'm going to slip him in at 9. I'm so excited.
Sam made note that I was winning too much tonight, and I was just really hoping to ride it. I mean, I deserve it, quite frankly, after my last, 48 hours.
I mean, I intentionally
Office Man
never
and
brought
Ming.
up Paul Walter Hauser just in the hopes that no one would notice him until it was too late. I wanted to do what happened with the fucking Dragon Gate tag match.
Boys, we got so close with Paul.
You're just waiting for me to ruin the fun.
I like where none of us have a good enough reason to actually keep him around. So we're like,
well, do you
once you acknowledge it, we have to.
Once I say it, it's just like, come on.
I mean,
once it's admitted, then we have to immediately fold.
Do you consider the Naked Gun as part of his case?
Joy.
Oh shit, we gotta rank these guys? Oh my god.
We are.
What the hell, Dan?
We're probably 75% way through this. That feels good. We're just gonna go double check that we do in fact have 10. That's 10.
We do have 10. All right.
All right.
Am I speaking out of turn? I definitely am. Moxley Mystico. Those are one of those guys are one.
I think Moxley is one.
I thought so, but I just wanted to throw Mystico in there because I like him.
Yeah,
I think
he's
more than
best wrestler of the year.
Look, more than any Mystico year, I think in the last 2 or 3 where Mystico now has this real renewed, passionate discourse around him. I think he's actually earned being talked about this way. But I would say it should be Moxley.
People, yeah.
Now I still think I still think that we should talk about Moxley, but yeah, I think my number one is Mox.
Yeah, people were so sick of Moxley at the beginning of this year, and the way it gradually just turned into a full 180, I think is just really impressive.
A lot of people really kind of showed their asses as far as being marks who don't think that they're marks.
Absolutely, and even in the more marred Moxley matches, I think he's really good against Swerve. He's genuinely very good in that match, and I think he's actually very good in the Cope match at Revolution. It's Cope, so it's fucking dog shit, and the finish to the Swerve match fucking sucks, and it takes away from what otherwise was a pretty okay match. But Mox himself is very good in those matches. He's great in the Joe Cage match. Obviously, we get the Mox the Mox and Cope rematch, with the bat spot, and he does a whole bunch of gnarly shit. But once we get into all in mode, and after that, he's by far the best wrestler in the world. And I don't even think it's particularly close to the level at which he was operating at after that. To have this real random ass feud with Kyle O'Reilly, who was dead in the water on that roster and also has done nothing since those matches, and to randomly do that stuff, one, maybe as some sort of attempt to get Kyle back hot again, but two, to further this story of Mox being mentally weak and going out there and having these bloodbath matches against Kyle O'Reilly and really making that guy more than anyone has probably since anything in the fucking since the Ring of Honor days is just a wild thing to do out of nowhere. The Darby Allin stuff is phenomenal. Both the coffin match and the I Quit match are both great. I love him in the Blood and Guts. And then the Continental Classic is just phenomenal work from him to take this character from being a bit of a fraud, being a false prophet, talking this big game about how they're the best and how they don't run from the grind and they're here to reshape this company. Here he is taking all these different shortcuts and cheating and quitting the second things get hard, to really finding himself again and finding that dog that he was before and finding that grit and taking that from where people were chanting "you tapped out" at him and it was funny to laugh at Mox because he quit and he's a quitter, to you want to see Mox make it to the ropes when he's facing Kyle O'Reilly and not tap out to that ankle lock. It's not anything super overt. It's not anything as if he is like cutting a big rah-rah babyface promo and saying I was wrong and I should listen to the fans. I should have never turned my back. It's just you turned a genuinely well-built story into something natural and organic, and that's something that only guys of a certain caliber can do. So I think Mox is number one. I'm willing to hear what else we can say before locking that in. But Mox was able to turn his 2025 into is one of the most impressive things I've seen in a while.
A lot of the Mox stuff early on too, was as someone who just dips in and out of AEW, was a lot of people fantasy booking Mox and then being unhappy that's not what was really happening, it seemed like.
Yeah.
Also,
And
not to be the guy to defend Kyle O'Reilly, but didn't he get injured in that last Mox match?
I think it might have been right
Yeah.
after.
Yeah.
I think that's
And-
why they haven't really followed up on it.
I think that's why he disappeared,
got
yeah.
injured.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know Kyle got hurt. That would make more sense.
Yeah, and I think like bringing up the Kyle O'Reilly feud like sets apart like what Mox was like in 2025 versus 2024, where like in 2024 there's a lot of Mox where he's just with the Blackpool Combat Club, or he's just having like he has the New Japan belt at the beginning of the year and that was largely whatever. And he's not doing a lot, and like he has good matches, but it's not just like you have to pay attention. Where this year we're like, yeah, we're putting him with Kyle O'Reilly and you're going to eat it from the palm of our hands, because that's how good he is right now and he's proven it to you right now.
I think that in 2025, a lot of what people really cared about in AEW was the Jon Moxley show. And
Absolutely.
I think I don't say that as a complaint. I don't say it like a Triple H Reign of Terror 2002 thing. I say it as like he was far and away the one who understood his character and how to wrestle and do promos in a way that was hand in glove with that character. I mean, he got himself over and created this gravity well around himself that like, other stuff just didn't seem as important. And when he would face someone like Kyle O'Reilly, it didn't feel like Mox was being lowered. It felt like Kyle O'Reilly was getting a rocket strapped to him for being in the same ring as Jon Moxley. I think that's a very special thing. He's not going to have it forever. Mid 2026, it might be gone, but 2025, he had it.
Absolutely. So I think we're like all in agreement. Number one.
Well, I'm waiting for
say so,
Sam
yeah.
and Dan to be like, no, just to be contrary, but
No, I have no problem with Moxley number one.
But Dan, who would you put at number two?
There's this guy. He wrestled for a promotion in Mexico, and also the true promotion of the year, MLW. And he
I don't
just
think
shows up
Abyssman has been in MLW,
in
but go on.
every arena he shows up in. He is the most popular guy in that arena. His name is Mystico.
Mystico would be my number two. And like I said, I've never been a Mystico guy to the extent that it has been in the last few years. But by God, dude, his 2025 is one of the most impressive things that I've seen from a wrestler in a minute, and that's just from like the tag team stuff, trio stuff that I think is like really really good and got even better with him. Where him going all over the place and kind of like maintaining that same level of overness. But god damn, dude, they had the match of the year with fucking MJF. Doesn't make sense.
Many people could have 100 matches with MJF and not produce one good one. Mystico did it twice.
I mean, and I'm making the MLW joke, but it really is like I'm an MLW fan, but he is the highlight of those shows. And then his CMLL work is good, but I like to watch his IWRG, DTU, like random indie promotions he shows up to, and the fans fucking lose it, and he is still giving them the Mystico show. And it's just whatever show he's on, if you're gonna pick and choose the match, pick and choose one that has Mystico in it.
Yeah,
So is anyone
And
against him at number two?
you are a Mystico hater. Do you have an argument against Mystico being number 2?
No argument that will sway anyone to the point.
Hell yeah.
Well, I mean,
It
still
would
say
not
it so
be
that let's hear
fun
it just so you can get
to
it
do.
out, get it out of your system.
I don't think the MJF matches, the match was anything special. So it kind of works against like I was not in favor of the match of the year stuff there. I think he is a good wrestler. He'll do well in my VP 100. I just feel like top 10 is a bit too much. I don't feel him as like he's not someone that will rank above Virus for me at the end of the day. Probably doesn't. I don't know if he ranks ahead of Blue Panther for me at the end of the day. Working with Dorada and Neon probably doesn't help. Two wrestlers I don't really like that much. So those are things that don't apply to anyone else here. Because most of you do think Neon and Dorada are good wrestlers. More power to you. So nothing I'm saying aligns.
To be fair, I don't like Dorada that much.
Sure. There we go. That's fair.
Okay. Having said that, Sam, then who would you have at number 3? Who's your favorite guy left on this list?
Mad Dog. Mad Dog would be my next up. I think he was far and away the best indie wrestler this year, even if it was a lesser year than last year, because he did not have something like the Day Moose match. But unlike Dan, I think the Tremont matches are great. I think the tag match is really good, and I think the 2 singles matches are great. I think the Durham Street fight is probably still my match of the year. I think honestly, I probably would have taken Matt Tremont instead of Slade, but in no small part to those matches. I think when Mad Dog is on, he looks to me like the best wrestler in the world. I just don't think anyone brings the intensity that he does and the raw feeling that he gives me when he's out there slinging the chain. Yeah.
See, what you feel about Mad Dog is what I feel about Slade.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair. That's fair.
To the point about it being a down year for Mad Dog, he just doesn't have like this surefire, undeniable, almost sort of like transcendent match of the year. Which without that, obviously that's going to like hamper anybody's year. But I do feel like just generally this dude wrestles to his character and what he's meant to be better than 99.9% of wrestlers in the world do at this point. And even if I don't think he had anything that was so spectacular or anything like that, the tournament matches are okay. I think they're okay. I don't have a ton of love for them, but I do really enjoy him versus Eric Stevens. I do enjoy the Demus. I do enjoy the Demus rematch. Uh, there's a pretty good I Quit with Vinny Morrow. So like whenever he goes there and is active and wrestling and doing whatever, I'm still into him. I still enjoy what he's doing. I enjoyed the Garini match. Like he's still great. So yeah, Mad Dog didn't go out there and have like something that people are saying this is what really brought me back into wrestling, and I haven't seen anything like this in years. In reference to that famous Damus match from the first Dean show, but Mad Dog is still just such a unique entity and performer, and he goes up there and still gets so much out of that act that I'm not mad at him ranking that high at 3 if that's where that was supposed to land.
I'm still mad from last year that IWTV completely fucked up filming the ending of Demus and Mad Dog. Everyone, when all the reviews come out, I watch it back. It's like, that's not the ending I saw in the building because they're covering up half the shit of the chain in the mouth, looking like Demus's face is gonna break in half. God damn it, cameramen, get better. Good
They
Lord.
won't.
They won't. Absolutely not.
How do you guys feel about Mad Dog as number 3, or do you have other people that you feel more passionate about at number 3?
I was thinking Mercedes as number 3, if I'm being perfectly honest.
If I'm picking
I just
between
think
Mad Dog and Mercedes, I go Mercedes.
Okay, let's talk Mercedes.
I think, for what we were just talking about, where Mad Dog was playing to his base, but didn't have a huge match on the level of the Demus match. Mercedes had those matches. She had the match with Athena at the Boston Spring Break show. I was there in the building for it. It was fantastic. She had her tour around the world. Like I said, she faced Alice Inc. Who else can say that?
So why didn't Alice Inc. end up like as that surprise wrestler?
No, that was
Everyone's still talking about it.
Yeah,
that
that's
was
such a Tony
that
fumble. A
that
classic
one
Tony
fucking
L.
moron in our Discord who was just like, "Oh my
Oh my
god, the
God.
surprise opponent on the pay-per-view is going to be Alice Inc. winning her title back."
I appreciate you bringing this up at 2 hours and 57 minutes to make sure that we really real heads
I
know.
don't think that person listens to VPR.
Absolutely not.
Um,
Absolutely not.
I mean, speaking of being there
Pork
live, I was
does.
there for
Shout out
that
to
Red
Pork.
Velvet match, and I can confidently say that's Red Velvet's best match ever. It was
Is that the show you
awesome.
did not show up for the Q&A
I did
for?
show up for it. I sat there. I did not stay long
question
enough
you
to
asked?
see Tony. I don't do cocaine, all right, man. Late nights are tough.
Late Nights with TK.
How do we feel about Monet 3, Mad Dog 4?
I just want to hear more of the Monet case. 'Cause I know we talked more about her, but
My thing is, speaking of, like, if we just want to talk about consistently, she consistently is a bump freak still at age, I don't know what she is, 34, 35, which for a woman wrestler is pretty old. And she doesn't have to wrestle
And
like
she
that
also
anymore.
doesn't
She doesn't
have
want
to
to.
be a bump freak.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
It's
she
like,
could big league people. She doesn't. She kills herself in every match she's in. And I'm
that
here
goes
for
a
that.
long way with me. Yeah. There's that, and also, she found this. She's like Ricochet in that she found a character that wasn't clicking at first, and then once it clicked in a huge way. Being this kind of like bratty, fragile, craven, like she presents as the CEO, but whenever anything gets hard, she goes to pieces. Not a lot of wrestlers are willing to show their ass like that. And I think that not only does she do it, she does it unselfishly. Maybe a little selfishly in that, yes, the idea is that she remains a huge star, but not so selfishly like how people complain about MJF, where MJF is craven heel, but he has to make sure that he still like gets one over on the other guy.
She
I
wrestled
count that as
Persephone,
points towards her.
and she went 15 minutes, and unlike Athena, who went 45.
Yeah.
Chris, are you also taking Mercedes over Mad Dog here for 3?
Yes, I would. I haven't been speaking up much because I have a headache. But
Okay.
that is I feel very similar to Pat and Dan. And we'll say Red Velvet does have some great matches with Jade Cargill, but Mercedes probably the best match.
Chris has a headache, and he told me to
2026
tell you guys he thinks Office Man is the worst guy in this list.
No, fuck off. You.
Jade Cargill currently is the placeholder number 10 on my VP 100s, and the longer I let it sit, the closer I am to keeping her as just actual number 10.
Don't see why not.
I don't think I've watched any of her matches.
I think I'm sold on Mercedes at 3.
Okay.
All right, 4. Are we doing Mad Dog? Are we thinking a Higuchi or a Fletchies?
Dan and Pat, are we at a point where you have more wrestlers you would take over Mad Dog at this point?
I think I would go Mad Dog next if I was ranking these wrestlers that were left.
I think we're at the point where I'm not super married to a hierarchy of them. I do like Mad Dog over Higuchi or Fletcher just for what it represents. I do like the idea of putting a guy who, works like Dean shows and isn't on national TV or doing international tours. I just like the idea of him at number 4. So I'm not going to argue with anyone's case for him.
Okay. We were just discussing him at 3, so if that, I have no problem with just slotting him in at 4 there.
A lot of men.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of men.
My like once I got got out the notion that I think Mercedes Moné was a top 3 wrestler, I'm like, okay, and the rest of them we can just put them in whatever order feels good.
Hometown Girl did
at
good.
5?
We
feeling Higuchi at 5? He feels like a strong 5.
He's a strong guy in general. He's pretty big.
Big dude.
He's one of the rare wrestlers where
I do like Higuchi there.
He's a rare wrestler who, like, if you see him in person, he's actually as big as he looks on TV.
Gooch always coming out on top. Always coming out on top. Good for him.
He was in my 28th of the year, so I'm happy to see him still succeeding.
Whatever the empty crowd Akiyama match was, might have been my match of the year. No, I mean not empty, but the clap crowd Akiyama match might have been my match of the year, whatever year that was. So yeah.
Very slay. All right. Fletch.
Now he hasn't been. What are you saying?
Kyle Fletcher.
You want him at 6?
I mean, I don't care. I would not have Fletcher at 6, but it feels like the vibe was he gave 6 energy. He gave 6 energy. 6, 7 energy, you know what I'm saying?
So let's put him at 7.
There we go. There we go. We're all on cue.
I would I'm just gonna say if I like we didn't get talking about him much, Cerro Negro.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not opposed to Cerebro Negro taking that spot.
Okay.
I'm fully
I
in
get
support
that.
of Cerebro Negro.
Because
taking
listen
that
here,
spot.
if you only watch Cerebro Negro, you might think IWRG really was the promotion of the year.
That's a very fair point.
Like
If
if you
you-
just plugged in all those matches, you'd be like, this promotion all hits.
Does he still do the Wolverine claws? Or am I thinking
yeah.
It
of someone
sounds like a
else?
no based on the
Yeah, I don't know what
reaction.
you're talking about. So
There was someone who for a while, maybe it was Dr. Cerebro, but someone kept coming out with like the toy Wolverine claws you can buy that like go between your fingers. So you like hold it in your fist and it looks like you've got Wolverine's claws sticking out of your hand.
Lucha's the best.
Which is so cool. I think the Cavalera de Plata match from February is one of my favorite matches of the year. It is so fucking good. And
Yeah.
Even if it was just that, I would be like, yep, get him on the board.
Yeah, the
and
Bull Terrier match with Bombero and
Bombero.
Fernal, and then the Opuestas match. He's got a great match with Cachorro de Guerra and Lucha Memes. He's got just really strong tag and trios work throughout the year in IWRG. Just, yeah, really strong year from Cerebro Negro.
Oh, actually, I think it might have been 2024, so I'm going to shut up. I liked his match with his son, but that might not have been this year.
I think that was this year.
Oh, it was this year? Okay, then I liked it.
I want to say that was like
Last year?
right at the start of the year.
I thought it was either like, January or December, somewhere in that area. But so Cerebro Negro, number 6.
And I have no reason to bring this up because he's not the star of the match, I don't think, but his match with his son against Triton, Freelance turned the clock back on that one. Good
Dude,
lord.
Freelance had a sneaky great year. I'm
Is
excited to
Freelance back?
watch. Like there are a couple insane Freelance performances in IWRG this year.
I watched that
Now
match.
that
I don't know if it was accidentally with AI dubbed commentary. It was
I hate that shit so much.
When did YouTube start that?
Within the last couple months.
Because
Because
I
at first-
had like something on my TV in the background. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah, because at first it was like they would auto dub the names of all the videos, so you'd see like all the Mas Lucha things suddenly have like, like Black Brain versus Black Brain Junior, and then it turned into this auto dubbing thing, and it just sounds demented. I will say now that Arena San Juan Pantitlan is doing shows again, I expect many more cool freelance matches in that fucking amazing shitty venue.
sure.
So we like it
Looking
at 7.
forward to 2026. 2026, early call for promotion of the year, the King Phantom.
Next year, venue of the year. Venue of the year. All right, 7.
Now we're
I
talking
think
Fletcher.
I think I'm fine with it being Fletcher.
Okay.
I mean, I already know, like, I'm just sitting here bracing myself for the argument over who is 9 and who is 10 between Slade and Obvious.
I think Slade should go 8.
That's crazy.
I think we should just cut through the fucking bullshit here.
I'm
and get
in
Slade in
favor.
there.
I would go Obvious Man Slade if I was ranking the last 3.
And is that based on your actual feelings, or are you just trying to be mean to me?
I mean, both. You got Slade in the top 10. That's like
I
That's
did,
good.
and it was like pulling teeth. I
think it's
had
wild
to
that Slade has really
sacrifice
gotten here.
Tremont. I mean, he's had a wild year. He's awesome. He should work if he came to Southern Fried Championship Wrestling. Like it would be.
Let me
fucking
tell you, he would go over like gangbusters in Southern Fried Championship Wrestling.
Like Slade is like he's just waiting for the right promotion where he can blossom into the modern version of 2000s Necro Butcher.
I have concerns that Slade versus CT Keys could be a very dangerous feud taking place in Georgia. I think they should still do it. I think they should still do it. I have concerns, but I think they should still do it.
But who would he face in St. Louis Anarchy is the question.
This is a great question. Warhorse, one of their top names out there.
It should be like Warhorse in his like wheelchair for his fucking busted leg or whatever happened to him. Like Slade just runs out and just like fracks him with a chair.
That'd be good. Okay. So I feel like Slade's not going to get 8, which I think is disappointing for everyone.
Okay, so Office Man or Aoki?
I'm probably Aoki.
You know how I feel there.
I'm going with Obvious Man over Aoki.
Quentin?
She comes on to me. Okay, all right.
Man, can't believe that Chris got a headache before he could really talk up Obvious Man to make sure we didn't just say Obvious Man 8, and that's the biggest thing going for Obvious Man.
Okay, I'll be fair here. As much as I love Aoki, I don't think this is as strong as his 2024. So like, I'm not going crazy for him here. Again, I love the Higuchi match, love that Nakamura match, that fucking the Charles Dempsey match, the Thatcher match. There's things I love from him. He's still a ton of fun to watch. But I think I'll go with Eastman. I'll give a Eastman the nod there at 8.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah, I think we have them in the order they're in.
I think that it behooves people to go and just Google image search Obvious Man Luchador and just look at this guy.
He's a great guy to look at.
And it's like you look at this guy and you know exactly like, are you in or are you out? I think with the audience that this podcast potentially has, there's going to be a lot more in than out.
Scary to think about when you talk about that.
Yeah, and just talking about him briefly, I mean, the great Apuestas match that he had with Aragon, the feud with Aragon in general, just the most reliable hand as far as like guy who you can have highlight anyone, whether it's someone from CMLL or one of the young trainees in Lucha Memes. Really fun work in IWRG when he's there with El Mimo. He's in a couple of those fun freelance tags I referred to a couple minutes ago. Well worth going out of your way to see. I think it's important to have old man lucha representation on these lists, and I'm glad that we were able to do so strongly on this episode.
So that leaves us with Aoki and 9 slate of 10.
Yep. So it's time to list them off.
Let's hear it.
As we have finalized our rest of the year lists for the formerly known as always Barry Tanners. At number 10, we have Slade. Number 9, Shinya Aoki. 8, Obvious Man. 7, Kyle Fletcher. 6, Cerebro Negro. 5, Kazusada Higuchi. 4, Mad Dog Conley. 3, Mercedes Monet. 2, Mystico. And number 1, and our Wrestler of the Year, Jon Moxley.
It feels like a very violent people top 10, whether I love it or not.
Sure. We would,
So glad that
we would
Tanner
be
was
so
busy
lucky
so that we don't
if
have any
we went
fucking
100
Noah
way.
bullshit in this list.
I'm trying to imagine what would change here. What would change here if we had that extra variable?
I
in
mean,
the
it
mix?
would. He would like all the Japanese guys would be up a spot minimum. Like that's what would change.
Yeah, Higuchi will be number 4.
Yep. Disrespectful. But yeah, I agree. I understand. All right, folks. Well, that's a show. That is the end of it. Should I do a rundown of our awards from the show, or should we call it and tell everyone, hey, you've listened to this episode at this point?
They heard it.
You know, I would say run down the awards. Just be nice.
Okay,
All right. I'm not going to list out all the awards just from this episode. Promotion of the Year. At number 3, we had Lucha Memes. At number 2, we had DPW. At number 1, we had CMLL and the People's Champ with Southern Friend Championship Wrestling. Our Tag Team of the Year, we had at number 3, Jackie Arena. At number 2, El Sky Team of Mystico and Mascara Dorada. And number 1, our Tag Team of the Year, Kevin Knight and Mike Bailey. Appreciate that, Dan. He has edited the document to say that Tag Team of the Year is AKA Sam's Award. I stand by this.
It's like the Brian Danielson / Zack Sabre Jr. technical wrestler, whatever
Exactly.
it's called.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It is the Bruiser Brody Award. For
Yes.
me, I am Wrestler of the Year at 10, Slade. 9, Shinyoki. 8, Obvious Man. 7, Kyle Fletcher. 6, Cerebro Negro. 5, Kazusada Higuchi. 4, Amanda Conley. 3, Mercedes Monet. 2, Mystico. Number 1, Jon Moxley. That's a wrap, folks. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for listening. And we may or may not do this again next year.
Just glad that we were the one podcast brave enough to give Jon Moxley a Wrestler of the Year award.
Somebody had to do it.